Oh, that's how good and ready she is. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Can you see how ready I was? I've been sitting here for 10 minutes and that's how ready I am and in the zone. Not very much at all. How are we all? It's Friday night. We are getting ready for regular Friday night fan cams. How are you all doing? Richard, you're the first one here. I think I'm now cottoning on to this. Is Chappelle Roan playing somewhere? Possibly, but you prefer to be here. I'm going to take that from that comment. So thank you. How are you, Richard? Shaky Snake, how are you doing? When you get the time, can you please explain the psychology behind Zach Merrett's T-shirt designs? They're perplexing. Would you believe I have not spent too much time analysing Zach Merrett's designs? What are they? Explain them to me and I'll give you my educated opinion on what they are psychologically telling the world. How are you, Brett? How are you doing? Are you ready for footy to start? For some reason, I thought the State of Origin was tonight. So I was thinking that this show could be like a nice little entree to everyone watching that. But then I realised somebody told me today that the State of Origin is actually tomorrow night, being Saturday night. So it's just us, you, me, and us together talking about the Essendon Football Club, I guess. So I went to training today, the second last session before we played the Tigers in an official practice match or unofficial practice match, I think it is. Lots to talk about, lots on my mind. I'm thinking maybe you guys just hit me with all the questions you want to know, specific players, and all of that, and I will just answer your questions rather than me just going blah and saying what I think you want to know. So given that this is a live and not just a training report, I'll answer everything you want to know. How are you, Jeremy? Nowhere to be to spend a Friday night. I love hearing that. Thank you. Moby, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us, as always. Muzz, how are you? Are you ready to football? Are you ready to come on and bemoan about how much this football club is hurting our soul? I had one job. What? Which is the job now? To analyse the T-shirts? Is that the job? Did I fail? I'm so sorry. The Monash Freeway. Now, what is this cool? Are you a young person? Are you talking cool lingo to me? Please explain this. Insane for a fresh pull. I've been sitting here wondering if I show my uncoolness by asking you what that means. And then I thought, you guys know I'm not cool, so there's no secrets there, basically. So please tell me what that means. Aurora, big day at work. Will be great to finally relax and talk football. I'm so glad. I hope this will be relaxing. Don't know about that, if it will, but, you know. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, of course. All the money that comes in through memberships goes straight back into the channel to make it better for all of you. I promise you that. So thank you. Hello, Miss Jade. I missed you today at training. I really wanted to run into you so we could do our exchange. You know what I mean. Hayden, how are you, my friend? Don't look at Zach Merrett's T-shirts. Is that what you're telling me? I can. You know I'm happy to analyse absolutely anything. Look, I'll answer your questions, but you know that the fan cams are all about you guys. So there's the link. I'm going to jump in. I've put it in the chat. So please, anybody and everybody, jump on. Don't feel afraid. You can basically say whatever you're thinking, whatever you want about the new CEO, Brad Scott. What are you thinking our round one against Hawthorn's going to line up? This is an open platform. No opinion is unsafe in this space. So please feel free to. Yeah, possibly. Are we all going to be watching the State of Origin? Actually, we haven't spoken about the State of Origin. Is everybody kind of pumped for it? Are you keen for it? Or is it going to be another 27 years? I thought it was 21 years in between the last one or something like that in the 20s. Something like that. I'm finally starting to get excited for the season. It takes a while. What are we now? About 29 days? Okay, so you're finally getting there. Hello, Colin. A bit warmer now than this morning. Oh, gosh, yes. Would you believe out at training, there's been one training session where I had to I had an umbrella, literally. It was pissing down. Only one so far. The rest has been beautiful. Sunny blue skies, warm weather, singlets. Today, it was cold. It was actually cold, so much so that I had to run back to my car and get my gloves because I'm holding my phone like this, trying to capture footage and photos, and my hands were going absolutely numb. So it was cold. It was blistery. The hair was, I was pretty much like that the entire time. So not good for football at all. We will get into that. How many goals did McMahon kick? Okay, so last 2 weeks, very positive in terms of him, in terms of his aggression. He kicked 2 goals, maybe 3. But in terms of his aggression, in terms of his placement, when he goes up for a spoil, if he knows he's not going to mark it, I thought his problem was probably being a little bit passive, and he was going to get overtaken by Archie, who is incredibly aggressive with his placement and his ball, his aggressiveness towards the ball, and then when it gets on the ground. So I thought Liam McMahon really had to step up in that way, and I'm glad to say that I did see a little bit more aggression from him. So that's great. Hello, Blue Bagger. How are you? How are you feeling about the round 1 game or opening round? Is Richmond Carlton opening round or round 1? No, round 1. Jacob Farrow. See, he's an interesting one. A lot of people, I am getting the sense, think he is going to start round 1 locked. And we're going to get into another element of it in terms of Archie Roberts. But for me, I'm actually seeing a really understated, unassuming preseason from him. His body is ready. His skill level is ready. But I just feel like his maturity is probably not at that AFL level yet. And I don't know if it's going to take 1 or 2 games in the VFL just to get him in the feeling the tempo of that elite level or the next level down closest to. I mean, his skill level is very good. I probably feel like Kondajanis is probably a notch ahead of him in terms of his kind of audacity to take the game on a bit more. Jacob Farrow is a little bit more passive, probably a little bit more thoughtful in his decision making, so he thinks it through a little bit more concisely. But yeah, I don't know about a round 1 for him. How are you, Jared? Need you to jump on and have a chat with us. It's been a while. Keen to see some hopeful insights into our game. Yeah, look, I'm going to be honest. Today was probably a lower standard for mine than the last couple of weeks of Match Sim. Keep in mind that I've had the last couple of weeks of Match Sim at a pretty high standard, and so that's why I thought today, pardon me, was a little bit below that rung. But I also have to give credit to the B team. So the guys in the red, they were sensational, and in a way it makes sense. They're really auditioning for a spot. The VFL players are, auditioning to get in some better form. They're on show for scouts throughout the season. But the likes of Sardis and Gresham and Guelphy and Unwin and Archie Wicks, they're all on the red team, and this is their moment to push their way into the black team or into the AFL team. So I was really quite impressed with the pressure that they put on. And at one point in time, I said to a friend standing next to me, you just saw this wave happening in terms of transition. So after a turnover in the D50 of our ones team, there was this wave, and it was all the red jumpers, and they just transitioned into their forward 50 beautifully, absolutely seamlessly. And that probably goes hand in hand as to how I saw a little bit of the work rate of the A-grade midfield. It was a little bit down today for mine, especially on transition post-turnover. And obviously Merrett was the one missing from there. So Sharp, who has kind of oscillated between the A's and B's, the Reds and the Blacks, he spent the entire day in the black A team. And then obviously you had Parish, Caldwell, Durham in the middle as well. So I don't know, bit disappointed in the first little bit from the mids. All the keys, so Tumeta Peter, Caddy, Mackay, they all had some really good moments. Craig, I'm excited for the start of the season, but haven't been able to get to training. So this year is hitting different. I'm feeling a bit indifferent. Yeah, I feel that mainly because who knows what we're getting. It is feasible that we play finals. It is also feasible that we finish second on the ladder or are fighting for last. All of the scenarios are a possibility. And that's what scares me a little bit, actually. Hey, Troy, how are you? Was Dyson Sharp playing high half forward? He was, yes. So he obviously rested some of the time down there, as did Durham. He rested quite close to the goal, actually, today. But Sharp definitely played that high half forward role. Kako did not play, which was second no-showing. So he's clearly sore. But from my reports, he will play some minutes next week in the game against Richmond. So hopefully it was just precautionary, or they think he's going to get over whatever was ailing him. So he usually would be playing that high half forward role as well, but Dyson Sharp did, and he certainly will play there for a little bit, but he'll definitely attend some centre bounces. On a scale of 9 to 10, how good is Parrish looking? Oof, this is a tricky question for today because, Shaky, today was not his best showing, but in the last couple of weeks, I'd have this up around it like a 9. I mean, I know that sounds bad, and it's against Essendon v Essendon, so keep that in the context. But today was not his best day. I reckon he got a little test himself in there in terms of the work rate and that two-way running. We know what he brings: clearance dominance. He can scoop the ball out and get it on the outside like an absolute pro, and he's brilliant at that. But that two-way running is also required. Who got the most centre bounce attendances? I would definitely say Jai Caldwell. He would have been at the majority of them. And he was very good, very proficient, doing what he does best. Archie Roberts also played in the midfield. This guy, he almost makes you not want to stick needles in your eye when you remember that Nick Martin won't play a minute of football this year. He almost just makes that feel a little bit better, because this guy, he is everything. He is a competitive beast. He wants so much out of himself and for this team. His instinctive wiring to defend but then snap back into offensive play is admirable, and I honestly think he will come close to, I won't say all Australian, that's maybe being a bit ridiculous, but he will be the Nick Martin role. He will absolutely float on the outside because he is quite audacious with his kicks. He never really wants to find that safe option. He always wants to cut an angle or make something happen, create. And he's probably got a way to go in terms of closing that gap. Nick Martin probably knows when to take the safe, when to be a little bit, riskier with the play. With Roberts, it's kind of all or nothing. But I tell you what, you never question what you're going to get from this guy, ever. Ever. Mars, you are ready to sit here and complain? Well, that's what this is for. Welcome to the space where you could do that. Oh, when you refresh YouTube and a video comes up that you really want to watch. Oh, okay. Thank you for explaining that. We are all uncool together, yes. This is why we all get along, right? It is the bonding of the uncoolness. We are owning our uncoolness. Hello, Annalise. How are you? Gotcha, Jade. Oh, the coach is here. Brad, how are you? For all of you, this is not a burner account, FYI. When you see Brad commenting on videos or getting involved, that's not a Brad Scott burner account. This is actually Brad, whose name is Brad Scott. So welcome to the party. You are welcome to tell us how you would coach if you're in charge of this team. Are you going conservative this year? Are you playing the kids, Brad, or are you playing the best team possible? If you watched today, you would think, far out, I've got to include Gresham in my round one team. That is how good he was in the midfield for the Bees. This guy confuses the shit out of me. He really, really does. I have a lot to say, but my Uber's arrived. Oh, are you going out? Okay, well, next time jump on, Craig. Or I know this was a spontaneous live, but next time can you please schedule your wherever you're going around Bomber Banter? Thank you. There's a link if anyone wants to join. You're over the Zach Merrett chat and controversy. Let's make a rule. Merrett playing games for EFC talk only. Okay. I'm sorry, upset you, Moby. Hey, Jono, was 2009. Oh, God, that's going to test my math. Okay. Well, that was a long time ago, so I wonder if we'll see it again. Do you think if the players don't go full pelt, they'll just can it? Or do you think the players are going to go full pelt for one quarter and the rest of it's just going to be a Mickey Mouse game? Jonathan Brown was captain of Victoria in the last State of Origin. Wow. Okay. That feels like a way. Zach isn't at training. He's in WA at the State of Origin. Yes, he is. He was. Oh, I'm sorry. This is half of the reason why I don't get like a standing mic, because this actually stops me using my hands a lot. Would you believe? I know. I know. Jay, Dyson Sharp will play round one, guarantee. Yeah, I think so. I really think so. Look who it is.
How are you?
How are you, Solution?
Good. You like to use the hands.
I can't help it. I can't change my ways. It's just who I am now. There's no going back.
Italiana.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought I'd jump on. Yeah, good. I'm glad to see you went live. Good to see some familiar faces in the chat. I've missed this.
Oh, that makes me happy to hear. I'm always still so like, I wonder if anybody will come or anybody cares. I still really wonder. But anyway, how's your off season been?
Look, it's been. Look, I do have a bit of a bone to pick with you. I've got to be honest.
Uh-oh.
You're starting to make me believe.
Oh, I see.
And yeah, it's a little bit concerning because particularly the stuff about Madiness and you know, we're hoping he's going to be recruit of the year. But what you've said about it, yeah, exactly. Look, if he makes the impact that we suspect he might, and we can improve in that area, particularly, like I don't know whether it's too late for the Jordan Ridleys of the world with all the scar tissue and all the various injuries they've had. But if we can get this next crop injury free, even I don't know, like to the point where we're just a normal club with normal injuries. You know, we get the odd hamstring here and there. You get the odd ACL, which you can't do anything about. But if that happens, I think this team can actually do okay. And you've got me thinking that. So that's, again, you're to blame for that. But
I don't know if I am going to be apologising to you in 6 months' time or saying, I told you so.
Yeah, look, I hope you're right. But I actually am starting to believe. So I don't know how many people out there are also in that camp where, like, I reckon at the end of last year, I was like, let's tank again. Let's get some more draft picks. I'm almost at the point now where, yeah, I tell you what, if we can have a good run, and I hate this wild card shit, the 9th and 10th. Yeah. It's so cringe. It's so American, but who knows? We could possibly finish in that bottom half of the 8, or even in that 9th or 10th spot. And would we be winning a final if we enter a wild card? Is that a finals win?
What a question. You know what? I don't think anybody in the history has allowed themselves, not in the history, but anyone who even considers that we could possibly finish 10th has even gone that far to think, if we actually do, would we win a final? All right, question without notice. If we finish 10th, there is a world we finish 10th, because who bloody knows? If there is a world, do you think losing that final would be good for us and good experience? We get the draft pick that we get, or are you thinking, nah, it is too soon. Let's get the best draft pick we can get before Tassie, not quite make finals?
I don't know. I just cut it. Was that me that cut it, or was that you?
No, that was you. I mean, I'm still going on my screen, but you're a little bit delayed. So did you hear the question, or? Okay. Okay, I'll put that question to you, chat. Yes, I know, Stephen, I know. I do know that. It does count as a finals win. But if we lose that final, are you all thinking, yeah, great to have made it, great experience for the kids, we'll be better off for it? Or are you of the opinion that better to not just finish in that top 10 quite yet and play finals, because the draft pick is a little bit compromised and we are realistically probably a year away from really seriously contending? What do all of you prefer, basically? It's more of a big deal to Western Australians. I don't think Vic fans care either way. Oh, this is State of Origin. Yep. Sorry, let me go back up to where we were before the solution rang on. And if he comes back, who knows? But it was good. All right, here we are. Oh, here we are. Okay. Has to, done. Plenty of options for halfback. Roberts, do not move him from the midfield. It is a signed, sealed, delivered. I do not want to see him outside of that midfield. A wing at a stretch, but he's in that midfield rotation without doubt. We win. We are in more games with him. Simple as that. Seen enough. You're not at all interested in State of Origin. When you grew up and still watch NRL, State of Origin, the AFL is just a waste of time for me. It's not the same. Okay, so explain to me. I don't follow NRL. Why is it not the same? Why wouldn't it do as well as what it does in the NRL, for example? Just that the players don't buy in, the AFL don't put enough resources in it. What is it? A player you think is going under radar that fans ain't talking about enough? Good question. Does Jaden Yuen count? I still think even today, when he's up around the ball, he's so energetic. Even if he's just on the peripheral, observing the stoppage or observing the contest, he's on his tippy toes. He's kind of bouncing, and I just think the energy is kind of infectious. Does he count as being kind of under the radar? I think he's a bit under the radar and underlooked for round one. All right, he back.
I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm the injury for this year.
As the young kids say, you're glitching. So anyway,
yeah, that's right. I didn't hear the answer, let alone the question.
Okay, so you didn't hear the question. I was just asking, would you prefer to finish 10th and lose the final and think that that's just good experience for these young kids? Or are you thinking, no, much better to finish 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, get the best draft pick that we can before Tassie comes in for one more year, and then push for finals when we think we can actually win the final?
It's the latter, and I'll tell you why. It's not just the draft pick. And look, at this point of my Essendon supporting journey, let's call it a journey, I should be impervious to what other people think and what other teams think and other fans. But can you imagine the trolling if we played in a wild card and lost that as well?
Oh,
can you imagine? I mean, it'd be good for fan cams.
No.
That night you'll have 40,000 people.
Speak for yourself. You're not going to be on the end of all the trolling, and
Very good point.
I'm not going to even be able to talk to you guys. I'll just be sitting on there banning people.
Yeah, true. You'll be just blocking. I just couldn't. Trolling. I don't think I could handle it. I don't think I could handle the ridicule.
It's a good point. If we can't even win it, yeah. Okay, so beside the self-indulgent part of it, so we want it, we don't want it because we'll be in pain. What do you think is best for the team?
No, let's get another good draft pick.
Okay.
Yeah. What do we always say? The last thing you want is mid-table. You either want to be contending or you want to be getting the best draft picks you can.
Yeah, but on the way
or
to
developing.
On the way to contending, you do have to kind of
true.
You have to sit. You have to hang out in the 13th. Just ask Richmond and in the 9th. Sorry, in the 9th spot. You got to hang out there for a little bit and kind of do your time. No.
No, you're right. This is true. Look, I think your video was fantastic. Your Brad Scott, like what are our expectations? And I think you are right. I think it's less about ladder position and it's more about progression. So progression with players, progression with game plan. That's right. You were talking about selection integrity, which I like. What would we be without a Thursday night Twitter meltdown when players get picked that we think don't belong or don't deserve to get picked? So I agree with all those. But what I will say, and I've been a supporter of this project, and I've been a supporter of Brad Scott. I think, provided we get an improved amount of available players, and Innes is doing what we think he might do, the excuses are all they're null and void from here on. Brad Scott has to be creating improvement from this list, and we need to be winning games of football. We really do. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. You know, we joked about Don the Tank last year and tanking, and isn't it great? And the more draft picks, the better. And sure, that was in that kind of annus horribilis of injuries that we had. That was a fair position to take, I think. But really, the excuses are out for Brad, in my opinion. I know that might be controversial, but we need to see improvement in all areas, and that includes on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, I was hesitant to actually put a number of wins onto what I would be comfortable with in terms of Brad Scott. There are a lot of people I speak to who believe that if we don't have at least 10 wins, then Brad Scott's got to go. I probably don't. I'm not setting a hard and fast number on it like that, but are you sitting somewhere around that kind of attitude in terms of, is there a certain number of wins that will pacify, yep, I can see progression, I can see, aside from everything I mentioned in that video, so selection integrity, game plan evolution, and, oh God, what was the third thing in my own video? I can't even remember the third thing. Player development.
Yes. I think there's the y-axis that is wins, and the x-axis is list health. And the further up the x-axis we go, the greater the expectations that the wins improve. So hopefully we're in the top right-hand corner of the matrix. And I reckon, was it Craig Mack that said, what's your realistic metric that means improvement? As long as we have like a reasonable list health, I think it is like at least 50%. At least 50%.
Okay. So you want to be winning around 12, 13 games?
Yep. If the list is healthy. Don't forget, I mean, that list has been near the top, or a large portion of this list has been near the top of the ladder at various times throughout the season.
Sorry, 1 second, Solution. Hello, friend MJ. Recently, I did a podcast collab with the legend that is MJ. If you are, I know some of you, there's quite a few of you here, any Supercoach fantasy people, if you are not onto this guy and his page, get onto it. Coaches panel, absolutely nailing it. I know nothing about Supercoach, but I have learned that much just from following MJ and his crew at this on YouTube and watching his videos, and on Spotify actually as well. So when I'm in the kitchen caking, that's what I've been listening to, and I feel like I could play now. So get onto Coaches panel. Sorry, Solution, continue.
No, you're right. I reckon 50% is fair. If we've got a healthy list, because there'll be teams that drop, there'll be teams that don't have a healthy list. There'll be teams that maybe go through a crisis. True. I don't think there'll be teams that go through the crisis that we did, because that was almost unprecedented. But I think 50% is fair enough. This is Brad Scott's kind of list, really. He's had a chance to get rid of some dead wood. There was a certain
30 plus players in 3 years is a lot.
Correct.
Is a lot of recycling.
That's right.
People forget that, but that's a lot of people, a lot of players rotating out that door.
So yeah. Look,
it's also interesting you say that, like, we know everybody focus on the teams that are going to improve this year, and we lose sight a little bit of the teams who are actually going to regress. and go backwards, or as you say, have injuries. Collingwood, who knows where they sit? Is the age of their list going to catch up with them towards the end of the year? Like who knows?
They haven't really brought anyone in. They didn't really draft anyone either, did they? So they're having another throw at the dice with that old aging list.
Exactly. So there are naturally going to be teams that regress, and we are the great unknown because nobody got anything from last year aside from some young kids showing an enormous amount of resilience. I think they're only going to be the better for that. My big piece, and it's the piece that I've had in a really low kind of rating on the readiness for round one rating, and that is the cohesion. And I speak of that because when we were lucky enough to have a chat to Brad Scott, the importance that he put on that cohesive profile being such an important element to success, and the metrics that they rate that cohesive measure on. When you do the numbers, that they've obviously created their own measure, but you could see in the top 8 were all the finals teams. So based on how long they've played together, based on how many games, experience they have, it is an important piece that we just don't have. And you can't force that with better gameplay, and you can't force that with better players. That is time and repetitive practicing of it.
So can I ask you a question? Having seen so many match sims, how do you think my boy Blackiston is going to go with the cohesion and the other midfielders around him? And as much as I was happy we didn't offer an injury riddled Sam Draper, let's look at his career. Like how many games has he played? 80 in quite a long time, or however many it is.
I think he hit 100. No,
I wouldn't quote me on any. 90? Don't quote me on any stats. Okay. But the point is, he did have a lot of injuries, and I was glad we didn't offer him a big, long, expensive contract. But a fit Sam Draper was probably, I said we had some good patches in recent seasons when we've had a relatively healthy list. Sam Draper was part of that. So I'm really interested to see how we'll go with that cohesion in the midfield with Blackiston, and I'm interested in whether he can compete in the hitouts. I do suspect when the ball touches the ground, he'll be a real asset. But what do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, not a day goes by where isn't that a song? Is that in a song? Not a day goes by? Yeah. Anyway, not a day goes by that I don't
know that one, but you're close.
But I don't mention Blackiston because he's been so impressive, and I think it's all in his follow-up. It's exceptional. He will shepherd, he will block, he will make an attack for the ball to progress it forward. He does the offensive and defensive. He probably doesn't take a huge amount of marks around the ground, but as I've said a little bit throughout this preseason, there haven't been a great amount of marks being taken, contested marks. He is, as Peter Wright said in the chat interview I had with him, he is probably a little bit unpredictable still so far to his teammates because he's a bit of a different cat, as you have described him. But and he's an introvert, so I don't know that he's necessarily gelled on that level with the group yet or found his voice quite yet. But in terms of what he will offer for this team, he will be an extra midfielder. And with the style of game we're hoping to play, faster, quicker, he is like a meerkat, a big one.
A meerkat.
Oh, there we go. Smokey's come through for us. Sam Draper played 78. Fiona.
Well, I was close, and Smokey's is he knows his football. Big bomber man.
Hey.
So, yeah, unfortunately his brother's Richmond from memory, but you can't have everything in a family. Yeah, well, that's exciting. That's very exciting. Do you who's going to deputise for him? Is it going to be Peter Wright when he's fit?
Yes, so Blackie actually didn't play the last quarter today, whether that was just management, getting his body 100% right, or that was just purely to get runs in the legs of Peter Wright in the middle, but he sat out today. So Vigo did a lot of minutes in the ruck, and he's rucking quite well. He just doesn't have that influence around the ground as much, doesn't get around the ground as much. Again, doesn't take too many marks, but I thought his tapping was quite good. And his body is coming along really beautifully. He is more than holding his strength and width in the ruck there up against Peter Wright sometimes. So I thought that was really good. Friend of the show and good friend in general, Scooter tells us that Draper played 9 years, 78 games. So yeah, that feels like that's just not near enough, doesn't it?
No, you're not averaging many games a season, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what also I want to see this year?
Yeah.
I want to shout out or call out on the fan cams at Moby79. I want to see you log on. Now, I don't want to hear excuses. There he is. Firstly, you can't have a rougher head than me. So there should be no self-consciousness involved at all. I want you to get on the fan cams and show yourself.
I keep hearing I reckon a lot of these people keep telling me, I'm just waiting for a win. Darling, if you keep waiting for a win.
Not good enough, yeah.
I don't want to have to threaten people. I'm giving this a preface before the real stuff starts. This is just a fun little, midweek, mid-spontaneous fan cam. But when the real stuff starts, don't make me or give you an ultimatum and tell you that the fan cams are not continuing unless there's at least one new friend a week appearing. So it's not going to start tonight, but I'm putting it out there.
Craig Mack is 100% correct. But now's the time to get on. Tonight's the time to get on, surely, because there's not thousands of people watching. So make your debut.
Yet. It could
but
be.
Yeah, like you really have like the channel's been fantastic. You're going from strength to strength. But yeah, you've got me interested and excited. So if the crash comes, I'm kind of going to be looking at you and saying,
oh, yeah, I don't know if I want that responsibility, but hey, Matthew, Adam, thank you so much. You have been a huge supporter of the show and from day dot, and I really appreciate you. Thank you. Every little contribution that everyone does. Actually, if you're all here, please, if you haven't subscribed, hit that button, that like. Don't make me be a ball buster and have to keep asking you because I hate to remind you of that. But thank you, Adam, and thank you so much. This also is huge. Being a member of this channel means more, to me than I can express, but it also just helps support the channel immensely and is going to help me bring you such better content. So I appreciate every single one of you members. I really, really do. I don't say it enough. I don't know how to say it because YouTube doesn't let me get messages across to you directly, but just know that I'm always so super grateful for every single one of you. So thank you. And of course, everybody else who's commenting, who's here in the chat, it all means something. So thank you. Also, I also wanted to say, remember that, Fiona, what are you doing here? Remember that on Monday, the Bombers are actually doing their Bombathon. Now, Solution, are you signed up? Are you a member? Are you waiting to get a call from Lockie Blackiston to sign you up? Is that going to be the sealer?
No, look, Essendon have done a lot of things poorly over the years. One thing they're very good at is the advanced direct debit.
Well,
so,
like any business, no?
Yeah,
I'm a
true.
I'm an entrepreneur.
This is true. But I got the notification to say your money has been debited, so I'm a member.
You're signed up. Okay. I thought.
But what are you telling me?
Well, you might still get a phone call from your mate Lockie Blackiston. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure you would have seen it on socials, but obviously, if you get a kick out of that kind of thing, the Bombers are getting on the phones. I believe it is this coming Monday. So have your phones on loud for the day, just so you don't miss a call. I'm told that a lot of the boys and staff actually will be getting behind the phones. So, and look, without sounding like, again, I've told Solution and you guys, I don't want the responsibility, but I will say that this year, more than any of the others, I have not felt, not a blind positivity, but I have felt a a strong hope and belief in this young core, this group. And each week I see Roberts and Caddy. Actually, let me show you this picture that I took of Caddy, right? He had a sensational day. Sensational day. He was in a mood. He and Peter Wright, speaking of cohesion and chemistry, mate, they were brilliant. But this is the mood that Caddy was in today on just a simple intra-club game. Are you ready? If this photo would like to appear. You see him there? He is around the neck of Sardar Hooley there. He wanted to be in everything. Now, I wish I could lie to you. You will know when I'm lying to you, but I wish I could lie to you and say that the ball coming in landed beautifully in his hand. It did not. It was a little mistimed, but this is what excites me. It is Roberts bursting from a pack with the ball after he's tackled Darcy Parish or tackled Elijah Sardis. It is, Dyson Sharp making a beautiful lead from half forward with the hair flowing. And it is all these kids. It's Zach Johnson who looks inboard for half a millisecond, sees an option that not many would, and then just kicks across his body in the most delightful style. It is this that is making me hopeful and gets me excited and makes me want to. I mean, I have never thought about cancelling my membership, 17 years and going, but that would be what makes me sign up if I wasn't.
And also, thank God, like looking at that photo, thank God Sard wasn't looking at the boundary line at the time.
Yes, all right, of course. No, I'm not.
But I must admit,
I'm not hyping us up, and I don't mean to, because I'm not tipping us personally. I'm not tipping us to finish inside the 8, the 10, whatever you want to call it. So it's not a hype. It's more of I can feel that the club is on the right track for the future. Not immediate necessarily, but I can feel the club is on track for the future, and I feel like we're at the beginning of the journey, and it feels like something I just want to be a part of. So,
can I just ask you, when's what's it called, the Bombathon?
It is on Monday.
Monday, yeah. Okay. I'm not going to lie. If I get a call and it is the accounts payable chick, I'll be a little bit disappointed.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I think when they say, I don't think they mean that. I think that when they say staff, I think they mean like the coaches.
Like the football department. Yeah.
Football department.
Look,
yeah.
Let's be honest, they're volunteering their time, and
they are.
All jokes aside, a healthy membership helps us compete with the big boys.
That's another thing. Like, do we really want Hawthorn and them overtaking us? Carlton just got listed as the most. What did they get listed? Who saw that thing on Instagram? Dan Gorridge reposted it, but was it the most passionate? There was some measure that they stayed for the longest in games. They turned up the longest in games. They were number 1, the most passionate, and then West Coast, then Essendon, and then it was all the sports leagues in Australia. So then there was some NRL teams and etc. But Carlton already have that on us. We don't want to be falling behind. We want to be one of the big clubs. Just because we're not one of the big clubs in terms of success, well, we can be in many other ways. And I know, a membership is costly, but they actually do have some really good, like a friend of mine just got an 8-game membership, and it was pretty reasonable.
Are they still giving us the stickers?
Yeah, I was just looking on my fridge. Yes, I do. I have the stickers. I do have the stickers. That's all you get in the membership pack, but you do get your $30 voucher to spend at the Bomber Shop.
True.
But it's not about that. It's about being part of something that could be freaking amazing. So that is a great question, Brad, Mr. Coach. Any idea? Does anybody know? Maybe this is a question for Scooter. He's pretty good at this. I know he's lingering here and he's going to appear shortly, but does anybody know, or does anyone want to do a quick look? In your 50th year, Richard, you expect a call from Woosha. Oh, I initially read that as that you got a call from Woosha. Okay.
But hang on, are you 50 or have you been a member for 50 years, Richard? Because if you've been a member for 50 years,
yeah, Adam's asking that too.
You could probably get John Coleman to call you from the grave.
I mean, that is impressive if you have.
I do like
Aurora, I love you. Yeah.
I do like Adam Matthews' comment, Sard had eyes on the balls. Good point.
Okay, Scooter, like the legend he is, tells us we are at 59,000 members to date. So that is just not near enough for me. We are a big Melbourne club. Let's get out there, I reckon. And far be it from me to tell people what to do, because each to their own. But I don't know. First, well, if you're going to do that, be a Bomber Banter member too. That's also important. But being an Essendon member is very important, because I think we haven't had the respect in recent times from our on-field, but we can be part of something off-field gaining that respect. So, and I want to be some part of something huge when we do. I don't want all these bandwagoners to jump back on the bandwagon. I don't know. Do you agree with that, or is that being harsh?
What, when we win the flag?
Yeah, when we start being good and people jump on. Like, I know the competition ain't ready, and the competition fans ain't ready for Essendon to be good, because they're losing.
In the year 2080, when we're all ruled by Glong the Destroyer or whatever it is, yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, solution, we might leave you there, my friend. All right, we've got a beautiful, very accurate update from Toph. 59,386 and counting. Do you know how that...
Bomber Banter members? Whoa.
I mean, that would be beautiful. That's the goal now.
You'll get something better than a sticker too. You do get a little bit of...
You will. I have them too. So. They're coming out to you hopefully next week if you have the time. But they're so cool and they're so cute. So members, look out in your snail mail box, wherever that may be for you. 59,000 Bomber Banter members. Let's aim for that. Absolutely. All righty, solution. Cool. Anything left that you would like to express?
No, thank you. Great to see everybody. Go Bombers. It's going to be a big year. And
ready for
see you all soon. Correct. Ready for the preseason next week, isn't it?
It is. Next Friday, we play the Tigers in our unofficial practice match. And praise be, I get to watch Peter Wright and Dyson Sharp and Jai Caldwell up against opposition. Hallelujah. Bring it on.
Yep, I'm all excited. It's your fault.
Sorry, not sorry. Catch ya.
All right, ciao.
Bye. Hello, my friend.
Hello, how are you?
What is your T-shirt?
I always have to celebrate the draftees, and I get bored and make my own T-shirts.
That is a work of art. And you know that 50 million people watching eventually this video are going to ask where and how. But you know these T-shirts are going to go off the rocket. You should just produce like a handful.
I know. I think, because I did the Raby one, the other one, and then I had so many DMs, people asking me.
Man, you could have made some coin off that, Scooter. You should have just done a few. You know that was going to be, yeah.
I know.
Or you could just do that. Start a merch store. We could sell it through the channel.
Yeah, I did. I'll work out. Trust me, it's actually something I've just been thinking about, because I've always growing up loved T-shirts. Like, it's just been a thing for me. So I've been like, maybe I can design some T-shirts and and go on sale. So
I mean, clearly you have a knack of knowing what the people want. But anyway, how are you, and how are you sitting as we sit a week away from facing some opponents who are, would you say the Richmond? Yeah, they're rebuilding, clearly, very obviously rebuilding.
Two familiar teams. Yeah, two very familiar teams playing each other. Good chance to see kind of where we're at. And for me, it's kind of like, I mean, they're kind of funny, these games, because you can play like 35 players, right? So I think fans would have to understand what next week especially kind of is going to be, because there's going to be a lot of rotations. Scott will try a whole lot of different stuff just to get different looks and see how it looks, whether it's Roberts in the midfield, Pryor on a wing, Dersma forward, Farrow maybe in Clark in 2 or 3 different spots. So I understand that, but the core, I guess the core part of the team, Caldwell, Durham, Merrett, Reid, Mackay, backline, Redmond, McGrath, probably Langers, Wright, Caddy, Kako, hopefully. Hopefully we kind of see that core and just see where they're at and against opposition. But I think everyone's kind of over Essendon playing Essendon almost at the moment. Maybe the players are, but so I think we just want to see what the reality is, and just get that next level of I guess training, really, because I kind of call it a bit of an extended training, because both coaches are going to be experimental at times. Like where we spoke even recently, and I said, often the last quarter is the VFL guys just come on. It's just there's a bit more player management. So I have this theory that sometimes I look at the 3/4 score and see what was the score then. But yeah, it's exciting though. It's been as the year has gone on, and even today, right? I was texting Grant, my co-host, and saying it's obviously, a few people had concerns with a few of the handballs and a few of the skill execution. I said, well, it still was another session without a major injury. And when looking at GWS and the news coming out of GWS with an ACL, we're having a good run of 1 to 2 week, maybe, soreness or whatever. But really, guys getting through the preseason really well, and then guys just being added to it from the rehab going along. So credit to the whole.
Actually, your man Roby, actually, speaking of one of the guys on your shirt there, I reckon he went up a notch today in terms of his loads. He was doing a lot of lateral, high volume at a good intensity on the other oval today. So I reckon he upped, and then he went into running, and you could tell he was gassed. So his endurance and his aerobic capacity is going to start to be really tested now. But the fact that they're building him up, so I reckon he took a huge leap. I noticed that Ridley and Perko both looked exceptional. They did a lot of the work together in tandem today, and a lot of lateral movement, running, bit of ball work. I'm told that they both may play some minutes next Friday against Richmond, which is wonderful. Perkins obviously coming from a long way back, but Ridley's fitness is at peak. He has ran so much this off-season. He's there's nothing wrong with his fitness. It'll just be can he, across 100-meter sprints or 50-meter sprints, can he get up to high pace and with relative ease?
Yeah. And here, I feel for him, because I reckon he'll have some mental scars of what first couple of games about when he ramps up or sprints off the mark. Just what are the hammies, how they're responding. But look, the earlier, if he gets the all clear, the earlier he can play, obviously the better it is for him, especially if for round one calculation, because it felt like it was 50-50 whether he was kind of a round one calculation. I always thought if he played one practice game, maybe. But if he can even play two, or even if it's a half, or at least something. Yeah. Because I back him in. He's such an experienced guy. He's always slotted back in pretty easy, and played his natural game. So, but look, outside of that, we've just got a lot of guys running across the park really well and fit and raring to go. And that's kind of what you want against Hawthorn. You want guys who've had, you would say pretty much 96% of the team, if outside of maybe Ridley, who's going to play round one against Hawthorn, probably would have done the whole preseason, close to.
Pretty much. Yep.
Yeah, because I think they're going to be a bit cautious
will be the only one.
Yeah, there's a few guys like Perkins that I think they'll be cautious on, and just they'll come in later, and like Roby and all those sort of stuff. But I reckon most of the team that people got in their heads for round one have done most of the preseason, and that's what you really want, because it means your run's going to be good. Hopefully the skills are good. But yeah,
today was a bad day for that, but it was whirly and it was windy, and it was not a great day for skills, but that's to be expected down there when the weather's like that. We won't go. Let's not talk too much about the skills.
Yes, but I mean, I know he may not have got the ball heap, but it's encouraging to have an Alachka kick for 4 goals. You just want to see the small things. They don't have to star. They just can you with Kako out, can you be a presence yourself, or can you just hurt on the scoreboard? So
I will say that it looked very much so when the ball hit the ground. it gives you an extra bit of sympathy for what Kako had to go through last year alone. When the ball hit the ground, the difference it makes when you've got two of them lurking on the peripheral, one to kind of get it and to hand it to. Today, Huss had no chance. Like 2 meter Peter was doing such a good job of bringing every single contest to ground, but there was no ground level kind of help or support when Huss was being covered. And they ran Jaden Nguyen on him, Johnson, McGrath can't remember who McGrath lined up on, but he kind of just flew under the radar a bit for me today. But it was, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, chat, but it was the entire black team as per we might line up on round one, whereas for the last few weeks, it's been the defenders have been in the opposite team. So it looks, we can get a good look at how the defenders are exiting our D50 and moving the ball up the ground to the likely starting forwards. This was very different.
Which is really important because now it's about cohesion of the likely group playing round one. So now it's you want 90% of what probably Brad Scott thinks. I'm sure he's thinking there's 2 or 3 players that, 50-50, probably guys like Day Wicks and really close Sardis and those who are really close, maybe in, maybe out. I'm sure he's going to have a few of those guys, but if he can get the core group now just to play the next 2 or 3 games, and just start building up cohesion. So,
it's fascinating who they've been playing in the B team consistently. Yeah. So Guelphy, Archie, Day Wicks, Unwin, Gresham, Sardis consistently have not changed jumpers throughout this entire preseason. Match sim. It's just fascinating to me. Sardis today only played a half and then he ran laps. And he had this one moment where he stopped in front of us and it was probably like 2 meters away. And he was just, he was timing his runs and he stopped and he was watching the play. And Noah Scott, who's a VFL player, was kind of calling for the ball, but not really in a correct position. And Sardis is yelling out to him, mate, get up the ground, be the next link in the chain. And I just thought that was a really good moment for him to see him take a bit of leadership on in that way and actually call out from the sidelines. So I did quite like that.
Yeah, and let's be honest, like again today, has Peter Wright, in all seriousness, put in a bad session?
Oh, there was one session where I thought he probably needed to mark a few more than like he had his hands on. But other than that, today he was exceptional.
Yeah, he's been really, like, for me, it's more that he's been quite consistent in his output. Like, it's just constantly been that 2 to 4 goal mark, doing well on the ruck. And from all reports, and obviously you've chatted to me a lot. Yeah, he's just had a really good lead up to the year, which is pretty exciting.
I can say this because I sat next to him, but he looks, I don't know how, he will not get out monstered at all. It's just going to be hold on like for dear life to the marks. That's it. That's all he needs to be thinking twice about, because everything else he is nailing. He's kicking to Caddy today. I thought to myself, man, I just spoke to him about this chemistry. How are you going to build it? Well, today I saw it. It was like they played 100 games together. It was exceptional. He knew exactly where Caddy knew exactly where to lead, and Peter Wright knew exactly the pocket and the space in which to put it. It was beautiful. Now, granted, today Peter Wright had Kale Girine playing on him, and not either Zach Reid or Ben McKay, because obviously, as I said, the defenders were on the same team. But I thought Kale did a pretty good job in some contests. He positioned on him really well in some contests. Just 2 meter Peter was just too good, and he looks He looks fired up to have a really good preseason. So.
No, and you can talk to this, but I'm kind of interested in what you're seeing with Dersma move forward. Do you feel like there's benefit in that from what you're seeing?
Yeah.
Sorry if I missed the first 10 minutes of the show.
No. I haven't spoken about him, so thank you for bringing him up. He was the second best on today for mine. It's I don't know. It's nuanced because like Fiorini does it too, but there's just something, the athleticism in Duursma's running and positioning and ability to he puts his body on the line. Again, Fiorini does too. I don't know. He gets down there quicker. He gets to exactly where you need to be, where we need space filled, where you need to drag opponents out of space. He's just got that discipline to go, where he's needed. And he was in the back line today. So he's going to play, he's going to make his way up the ground and help out when necessary. But he is such an asset up forward, Scott. He takes marks. He's agile and nimble. And he kicked like 3 goals. So, I mean, I think he's good. He's going to be good everywhere. He is prone to a clanger or two, but
yeah,
you just have to take the good with the bad.
He's just such a competitor too. And I'm also curious because obviously Roby's not playing, but I noticed Sharp and Farrow get a lot of the promotional kind of and a lot of the players talk. And I'm still a big believer in Contagianis behind them. How are you finding him going?
Yeah, well, we spoke about him the other night, didn't we? And we spoke about the sexy highlights that he actually has. He's a funny one, and he's very enjoyable to watch. I'm not quite sure that I know what he's going to do necessarily every time, but what I do know is that it's going to be something that takes the game on. Does not like to be stagnant. Does not like to be standing still. Always on the move. I think he's probably got a bit more fluidity to his game and his movement than I thought he would. I said before, but for me, I think he's a bit ahead of Farrow. How do you see the two?
I mean, just because I haven't gone to nowhere near as many sessions as you have. I mean, Farrow, to me, when I watched him, I actually found him a little bit timid. But in the open space is where I saw his gift. I did see a couple of one-on-ones, which I thought was actually really good. Like it surprised me how much he held his own. So I think defensively, just in his actions and his strength, maybe that's where he's got max at the moment. But Contagianis on the other part, I'm more challenging that I think he's just as skillful. I think he's just as good with ball in hand as Jacob. So I love that he takes the game on. So I'm really liking because I like the fact that there's a clear development field for him, which is one-on-one defense. But that's fine. He's 18 years old. He knows I've got to put more size on. He said it himself. So you're fine with that when a kid's just turned 18 and you go, well, that your growth is going to be enormous. So once get that next to extra preseason on, putting that 4 or 5 kilo, getting stronger. I genuinely think there's a real player there, and I just genuinely think he's still an interesting one for me for the wing. I know they may want half back, but if that wing spot with Duursma leaving is, just we haven't really found it at the end of this year. If they're trying Pryor and Clark and we're still not getting that what we want, he's the one I'd be kind of having a look at with his height and dash.
Well, it's that wing position continues to just be a rotisserie chicken. They are just rotating. Pryor, Clark. Clark is becoming this hybrid who they don't know where, what, or when to do. And I hope he doesn't become victim of sometimes when those sorts can find themselves in no man's land, good at a few things. What's the saying? But not great at. Master of many, master of what's the saying?
No. This is probably not the day for me to think.
I'm just going to move straight past that, all right? You all know what I mean, what we mean. So I hope he doesn't become victim of it. But yeah. But today, like, they switched his jumper black. They've been putting in black and red, forward, back, wing. They've put Langford on the wing. They put, obviously Binns played the VFL player today, but obviously Fiorini and Pryor and Dursma. It's just rotating. They're just trialing the best combination right now. So I don't think they know what the best combination is quite yet. Hopefully, the next week they do you hope they, like, for example, do you hope for at least a half they've got a plan in place and they stick with it, or do you want them just to trial absolutely everything against opposition and move players in different positions?
No, I generally think I would want 2/3 of the next at least couple of games to have guys settled in most positions.
Okay.
Because I just don't think moving them that much around builds the cohesion that I think Scott desperately needs. So I think he needs, halfway through a third quarter, if he wants to then break it up and then, manage guys, fine. But I want that first half and maybe even just a bit after halftime to have the core group play 90% anyway in their settled kind of roles. I understand a Durham may rotate forward from the midfield, but I would say that would be his role, right? And Merrett as well. That's not that they know that role, they know what to do, so they've already learnt that. So it's not, to me, put the 90% of the guys in the roles that you want them to play and play it for 2 or 3 quarters each for the next 2 games and start building that chemistry.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you said that because I agree. I think you've done the shuffling now. I want them to have a plan in place for a Richmond game. All right. Maybe we'll ask you this last one before I let Scooter go. He's been very good with our time. Aurora, do you feel the forward line is too tall with 2 metre, Langford and Caddy? Do we need more speed and athleticism?
Not necessarily. Because I feel like it's how you play that 3 will be the critical part, because Caddy's obviously athletic and quick. So he for me is like, yes, you can say a player's tall, but
he can do this for all of you who are just tuning in. This is from today. He's around Sarah Hooley's neck, hoping to take mark of the preseason.
Look at the vision you have with 2.5 hours of sim, and he's caught up with Clark running. So his running capacity is insane. So and he's quick. So I do generally, I've always found him a midfielder's type running capacity, and because he's quick, I don't really list him as tall in the sense of he's slow tall. Right, yeah, sure, right's right, but he's a ruckman kind of size. Langers is more the crafty type. He's not quick, he's just crafty. But I wouldn't be surprised if they play him quite high, and he sets up quite a lot of goals. So there's a bit of room behind him for a Kako, an Alachka, a Gresham, whatever you want to have in there. I still think they're going to go quite small behind them, but I think Langford will go up, even sometimes rotate through the wing. May not be the actual wingman, but will just be part of that ball chain. And I've got this funny feeling that they would like him to kick inside 50 or set up guys, because he's pretty clever at that. So it's just a matter of how you play them. If they're all within 40 meters of goal, but the interesting part is the only thing they've got is their round one opponent. So their whole strength is their defense. Like for me, Hawthorn's whole strength is their back six. They just propel everything from it.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing they've got to be. It'll be an interesting tactical side to us about how we want to approach that. Because you shut down that with no Day and no Warple in the midfield. Because I genuinely think we're going to win the midfield battle as far as getting our hands on the ball and kicking it forward. It's just how much can we stop their halfbacks from killing us, which they did last time. Amon and obviously these guys tore us up, and they generated scores from their halfback. So that would be the whole interesting part. Round one is, I think if there's ever a time we go smaller, that's the game.
Yeah,
and maybe a day Wicks, and it's just as an odd one out, just a high pressure, physical, defensive-minded player.
It's not a bad shout. He brings me a lot of enjoyment because he's so physical and competitive, and he's a meatball. He will put his body on the line and go back with the flight of the ball more often than you would expect. And he's an impact player. He's not going to have 25 touches a game. He is that impact player, and I just think he's got that level of aggression up to where it needs to be, to the standard. So it's not a bad shout. But anyway, Scoot, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us. I know you've been on a bit ill today, so please rest up, and can't wait for the season to start and to see you around the place more often.
See you next Friday at the game.
I can't wait. See you later, Scott.
See ya.
See ya. G Pat, how are you? How has your off season been? Thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate you. And Jeremy has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you. Shout out Jez if you got a premiership. Yes, shout out Jez if you brought us all a premiership. I will shout you out from the top of the Florence Dome if you bring us a premiership. Please do that, as well as your Bomber Banter memberships. But thank you very much. Oh gosh. All right, hello Andrew.
Oh, good day. Hello.
How are you? Look at you, you got the grand piano behind you there.
Oh, well, that's my holiday house picture.
Beautiful.
No.
No, I know. Don't worry. I know AI when I see it.
Yeah.
How are you?
Oh, not bad. A few traumas, but no, going okay at the moment.
Hopefully
going to the games and having a look at the practice matches and
good.
And seeing how we're going.
Sessions?
I think some of you lot are a bit pessimistic in relation to where we are going to finish.
Talk to us.
Seriously. I don't know. Like to me, discount last year's season because of the injuries and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And I apologise. I haven't got my bottom teeth dropped out through some sort of jaw problem. Then I got a denture, which is not right, and I'm going back to get it fixed. So I'm not very happy in relation to that. And
fair enough.
It's a bit anyway. It's not about me.
Don't worry, don't stress. We got you. Can hear you loud and clear. You good?
Okay, good. Okay. Well, the way I look at it is this: is that our key position players, if they hold up as good as most other teams, number one. So the spine is exceptionally good. Yeah. So if you take that premise, it's the flanks and midfield. Our midfield is a very good midfield. It's developing into a very good midfield with the players we've got. The young players are coming in. Parrish is a new recruit, as far as I'm concerned.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
I think he'll surprise a lot of cross fingers and toes that he doesn't get injured. I still think Perkins is a bit of a missing link there. I'm not sure. We're really discounting him. Now, hopefully the pressure of him not getting a game and the younger players coming through will do something mentally to him and put the switch on, because he's going to be left behind. Sartis, I'm not sure what's happened to Sartis today because he's been playing okay. I missed the first quarter today and I'm not sure why he went off, but he was doing laps, as you would know.
Yep.
But they were doing laps for a few of the players, taking him off and doing that over the. So
that's what makes me think it's loads. So just for context, everyone, they also took Gresham off in the last quarter. I don't know. He got football burn. What's it called? They called he was getting the ball so much they took him off. Leather poisoning. That's the saying.
Will he be in your? Question to you: will he be in our side for the first round?
I don't have him. I don't have him, and and I don't know if I'm getting skewed by the fact that they haven't played him in the black team in the A's once so far. So I don't know if that's warping my mind. What do you think? Would you have him in your team?
Probably not. I think he needs to be hungry. Why
does he look so hungry when he's in the midfield? When he's in centre bounce, he's like a different player, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's where he should be playing rather than off. But, I don't know. I think you to be a very top side and you against all the top sides, you need 6 or 7 gun midfielders or rotating midfielders, yeah?
Yep.
So you look at your premiership sides and all the rest of it, you got a couple of elites, a couple of really good players and a couple of real mongrel type players that are in there. So 6 or 7 players we need. And I think we've got them. We have got them. And you're talking about Caddy with Scoot there before, and he's saying, well, he's got the physique of a midfielder. I don't know why we haven't tried him in the midfield. Why haven't they whacked him in the midfield and given him a quarter? He's aggressive. He's quick, physical. And then that gives a chance to May and a few other young blokes who haven't been getting a game in that forward line to develop with right. So I don't know if it would work, but practice matches are there to try different things. They're trying a lot of different things, but I don't know. That's just a bit left field.
I think I do like him when he pushes himself up on the wing and he goes for a little jog, but I think they're trying to settle the team as best as possible. Yeah. And I probably think it's almost like in a game, do we need something different? Has shit hit the fan? Do we need to shake shit up? And that's when you just send Caddy on a jog and send him up the field and push, really challenge his opponent to follow him, go with him. But it's a good, in case of emergency move to have, and I think that's part of this preseason. I've never seen, in comparison to other preseasons, I've never seen so much shuffling of players in positions, shuffling of red to black of players. So they're really trying to, A, get players, multifaceted and versatile, and B, they're really trying to work out what is the best combination.
Well, I agree. And if you go through the positions in that, as you pointed out before, there are a lot of players who are locks. Like in our forward line, you say Caddy, Kako, Wright, Langford, a lock.
Yep.
Okay, so there's 2 positions, I think, available. So out of all the forwards, they're fighting for this. And those forwards are May, Alakar, Irwin, Ewan, Welfie, Dix, who are ready to go, are fighting for two positions. Then you got outside that, you got Jones, Roby, Edwards, and Perkins who are not in the binks at the moment because they're not fit. So there's really, out of all those 8 positions, 8 players, I would suggest there's only 2 out of that 8 who might be able to force their grab. Now, it depends next week against Richmond. Who gets how many? Do you know how many players are in the actual squad?
Ordinarily, they've allowed in previous years about 35. So 35. They've allowed clubs to play with about 35 players. So
that's virtually the list.
Almost, about 7 short. And to be honest, we've got about 7, 8 who wouldn't play anyway because of injury. So potentially, they might get a chance to run.
Well, that's right.
Give everyone some minutes.
So they will all get it. They look like they'll all get a run. Most of them.
Yeah.
Yep. And I love Newen. Him and Roberts to me. Roberts now he's another one you throw in the mix of the midfield. The way he's going,
he's a starter in my opinion.
He's a terrier. It'll a bullpit.
Both of them are. It's a different energy. It's a different dynamic when both of them are around the ball. Yeah. I can't tangibly explain it to you all, but it's a different energy and a different dynamic. And I feel it as a spectator, and I think opposition feel it when they're matched up against them because it's a buzzy uncomfortable kind of energy. Like they're going to make something happen no matter what. And I think you can't measure that. I think both of them have a spot in my team anyway.
Well, that's right. I would definitely lock them in. And the other thing too. Now,
what about this idea? What about this idea, Andrew? I have a lot of people are telling me this. Shout out to Peter at training today. You know who you are, Peter. He has been on this since the start of preseason and probably last year too. He is adamant because we were looking today and we were bemoaning the absence of Kako and saying how much Huss had to do without him. And I don't know. I just I want to see it. Now I'm convinced I want to see it. What do you think?
What about Merrett?
Yeah, he will. They
look like they want to play Merrett more in the forward line.
He will rest down there. Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's a great idea. I in actual fact, I was thinking of the same thing, putting him down there. So if they were going to put McGrath in the back pocket, and Roberts on the half-back flank, he's too good a player, or potentially too good a player, not to be in the team, and he's a lockdown. He'll put a lot of pressure, and
as Toph says, he can be a defensive forward. If we have Guelphy in that role, if we're saying that Guelphy is only in the team because he has, real defensive discipline on, say, a Sicily, well, I know that you're probably losing a bit of height there. Yeah. It's probably a bit of a big ask to ask Jaden Ewan to play on a James Sicily, but man, on a small defender, when teams have those dangerous small defenders, he could play on a Carl Amon. He's probably someone maybe tell me height for height, but I don't know. There's just something about this guy that I just want him in my team.
He's hungry. That's the issue. He's hungry. He wants to succeed, and everything has come to him in a not a given. He hasn't been given, or he hasn't been blessed with the gifts from other players have through their schooling or through their development and through all the things they've been given. This guy has fought tooth and nail to be where he is, and he doesn't want to give it up. And that's the hunger I want.
That's another thing, Jono, that he's got speed that Guelph doesn't as well. No. So
I think Guelph is not going to be now. He's definitely not. He's an honest player. On his day, he can do damage, but he's inconsistent.
Yeah. I don't know that he wants it enough.
No, not anymore. He's moving on. He's looking at. I shouldn't say that, but I think he knows himself. His days are getting close to the end point.
Yeah.
And we have to change the side. You can't expect to go up the ladder with the same list, with the same players, doing the same things.
Damn straight. We need to glow up. That would be a glow up in my eyes. And this is a great point as well. Sunstripe reminds you a little of my modern day Stevie Baker, antagonistic and tough, has to play within the limits. Yeah. And he will. And Roberts and him are the ones who sometimes will go just a little too far. And I'm putting Archie Day-Wicks in that as well. He's developed that extra bit of mongrel as well. Those three are the ones who they're not giving away an enormous amount, like a ridiculous amount of frees, but they're the ones who might go a little too high sometimes or might get a little too blood rush to their head. And they're the ones that you need in your team, and you need multiple of them.
Well, when I played footy, that's a long time ago, you would...
What position did you play, Andrew? Give me a picture.
Midfield, back pocket.
Love it.
Half forward flank,
nice.
Versatile type small player where they need me. But you get into scraps, you give free kicks away, but you make them earn it. And in those days, it was a little bit more dirty. I shouldn't say dirty, but a bit more rough. He got away with it. Today, if we're going to give a free kick away, give it away properly. Don't just give it away cheaply. So make them earn it. I don't want people concussed or, head high tackle type stuff. But you go, look, I had broken ribs. I was, and this is not, again, I was in the midfield one year and a tall ex-VFL ruckman basically grabbed my hand and twisted it to break my hand. and the umpire's right there. Another one basically broke my nose. Just went bang. Anyway, though the days when you cop it and move on. You can't get away with that sort of behaviour now. So, but in relation to our team and talking about our team, I think it's this year's the hardest year in a long, long time to pick your best 23. Okay, you can pick 16, 17 players,
True.
quite easily.
True.
And I reckon that last 5 or 6 players is between 20, well, at least 15 is going to come down to coach's preference or positional preference or player preference, like where you play on, who you're playing against, matchups. Hopefully, the coach, Brad, actually is adaptable, not fixed in his thinking. Because if he's open to change, then we're on our way. If he goes back to, I've got my set 22 players, keep it steady, only change one or two players when he has to, when someone's injured, we're not going to progress too well, because there's a lot of players there who need games, development, at a highest level. That's my opinion.
I agree with you. I do agree. My hope is that that's, the core, the more experienced core are getting it done so well that the young players can just be dripped in when players need a rest or for a certain matchup, as you say. But I'm hoping that that older, more experienced crop get things under control and actually put it on themselves to say, my career's at the back end now. What legacy am I leaving on AFL? Do I want to be proud of myself when I know I've retired? Will I know leaving I've given it everything I had and nothing else? And then that's the legacy you pass on to the young guys like your Roberts. Right. And although he doesn't even need that, that's instilled. He'll be passing that on to Unwin and Archie Wicks. But anyway,
that's another one. Much.
Yeah, I don't like to argue with, religion, but Jesus' question says I'd love to see Unwin round one. He's a Jet. We've got our tipper and Fantasia with Kako and Unwin. He's another one that I said was one to watch back in December. I probably think he hasn't stood out as much as I think Archie Wicks may have been shown a few little glimpses more in aggressive, in the aggression department, but he's got tricks. And if you give him space, watch out. You ain't catching him. So
he reminds me of young Andy Williams and Andy back in the early 80s. Anyway,
I don't know who that
another
is.
thing. How many games do you think you talk? I watched your video the other day about where we finished on ladder, how many wins and that. I tend to disagree with you a bit there because I have been as an ex-manager or retired manager. Yeah, it all comes down to performance, the team's performance, continuous improvement, all the rest of it. And if you don't perform to a certain level, you're basically cut. You're gone. So I think we had to have a benchmark of wins, and it has to be set at 11. That will then bring us into the top 10. Okay, around that top 10 range, because historically, watching Essendon, we do win around that 11, 10 in a reasonable season. Yeah. That's where we tend to finish with a mediocre side, like not a great, the sides we've had.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
I shouldn't say mediocre, but.
No, I know what you mean.
Not top 4 tier. We do win a number of games, and I expect us to win, with barring injuries and that type of thing, at least 11 games, 10 to 11 games, and win. And we need to score pretty heavily. When we're winning the ball out of the midfield, taking it down into the forward line, those forwards had to virtually convert or win the ball. So it's critical what you're saying. We need lock-in forwards to keep the ball in there. We need I don't know. Can you tell me why people don't mark the ball? No pressure. They can't mark the ball. Like I saw Ruckman Blackinson a couple of times go. There was no pressure. And he just dropped the ball.
Today was a funny one.
Windy.
He did drop a couple, but it was he hasn't been doing that consistently, so that doesn't worry me. But there have been, and I've said this the entire way, very few contested marks, and I feel that the emphasis has been on bringing the ball to ground and winning the contest at ground level and setting up around a contest. And because the drills have all been centered, well, not all, but a lot of them have been centered around ground ball, winning the ground ball and getting the ball back after it's been brought to ground. And that's probably why I think there's not been many marks taken. And plus we're trying to move the ball quicker.
Yep.
So
do you think we're moving the ball through the midfield enough? Like midfield to forward, or are we going the flanks too much when we're attacking?
That's a good question. Last week we went just straight down the line. No moving it through the midfield, no cutting angles, no switching plays. But the week before that, there was a lot of cross movement, cross angle play across the ground. I don't know which kind of one I think looked better, to be honest. What do you think? You've been to a few match things.
Yeah, I have, and I think it's to me it's direct football as much as the less handling the ball, like from A to B or A B C is best for me.
Yeah, take as much territory.
Chipping it around a lot, you're going to make mistakes. If you're handballing it too much, you're going to make. Eventually, it's going to catch up with you. You're going to be. Because I always believe on a through, and my kids hate me for saying this because when I did do some junior coaching and that, I always say to players, you got 3 seconds to decide what to do with the ball in that level. Okay, so you're thinking, so you've got to decide if you're going to handball or kick it or run it. Within that 3 seconds, because you're not your competition, the players behind your opponents are going to close in and they're going to get you.
Yeah.
So when you're if you're by yourself out in the open, that's a different story. But in general terms, it's normally crowded and congested or contested. And when you get that ball, you really got to quickly decide what to do. And I think Sada Hooley, I think he thinks too much. He thinks like he holds the ball too long, and then he doesn't deliver. He doesn't, even though he can run off his biggest problem. He delays his thinking process. That's what I'm watching him. If he can quick up his thinking process, I think he'd be a lot better player. But I think he gets caught a bit and gets indecisive of what he wants to do. Now, I don't know if that's a.
I have been really thoroughly impressed with his intercept marking this preseason. They've played him. They haven't rotated him on the wing at all. He's been predominantly playing in defence, and he's intercepting, which I didn't really have high in my kind of positives for him, but his reading of the play and intercepting has been exceptional. I think, his decision making can sometimes getting him into trouble, and perhaps, as you say, if he's maybe not overthinking it, that will help. But he'll be another interesting one to see if they give him minutes next week too. But anyway, Andrew, I better move on.
Yep.
Thank you so much for hanging out and joining us today. Loving your insights. If I see you next week, I'll say hey. If you see me, say hey. Okay. But otherwise, I'll see you throughout the year.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
See you, Andrew. Bye. Hello, Craig. First question for you. What was on the Uber Eats menu, please?
It was like a mixed plate thing from a Turkish takeaway. Yeah, it was really good chicken, lamb gyros with a dip and some tabbouleh and bread to die for. Like, it was so fresh.
Oh, okay. Now you're making me want to just hang up on you and go have dinner. But anyway, you're here and I love it.
Yep.
No, love it. Talk to me. How are all your? I know you remind me of Felix. I feel like you've inherited quite a few boys. You keep saying, "Oh, that's my boy. That's my boy."
Yeah.
I know. Which one of your boys are you most looking forward to seeing?
I got two. I reckon Vigo, if he can get some good development in the VFL this year, I think he can. He's so athletic, so agile. His forward craft. I've always said it. Like, I watched him on a wet day out here in Casey Fields, and the way he played that day, it was like it was a dry game for him. And his forward craft, I think, is the best of our rucks, of our pure rucks anyway. And And I love and Unwin.
I'm trying to think who's out for, but Brian, I feel like you're probably a good point that you make.
Yeah. Like I think if we need to rest our ruckman forward, it's probably outside of Peter Wright, who plays properly forward and then second ruck, he's probably the one that is the most capable forward. He can kick a goal, he can take a mark, he leads well. He's just got a bit of a presence for mine. Yep. And the other player I like is Unwin. He ever since I watched him.
You love Sardis.
Yeah. Yep. I love Sardis. He's I've always felt he has a bit of when he was a junior, he had a bit of Dangerfield about him. Just the fact that he could pick up the ball quickly with one hand below his knees and just run.
Yeah.
Since he's come into the AFL and had injuries, he hasn't used his pace enough. I think that's one of his weapons that he's probably lost a bit of confidence in. And his outside game, everyone talks about his inside game, being like that inside ball, get it out to them. His outside game, he's good and he's so smart too.
I have to ask you, do you feel confident he does have that pace and it's just confidence, or do you think he just is a little flat-footed? Because I actually don't know the answer to that question. I must admit I didn't watch a lot of a whole heap of his junior footy, as much as I've watched Dyson Sharp's junior footy. But what do you think it is?
Oh, not sure. I don't know. It's a bit flat. You're sort of. There's a lot of talk about Perkins and his off the mark pace that he had as a junior. Yep. He has not shown that as in the AFL. And Sardis is the same. You watch some of the Sardis as a junior, he would get the ball out of the contest and just go. And even on the outside, there was if you go back and watch, there were some plays where he started the chain and he ran probably 20, 30 meters to be the next link in the chain. He was ready to go. He's so smart and so switched on in that aspect of his game that I'm surprised. I don't know how it hasn't translated into AFL yet, whether it's confidence, his injuries, or being played out of position, trying to change his kicking style. Maybe that's brought him down a bit. I've no idea. But
what do you want to see from I know we're all excited, and I'm probably the wrong person to talk to about this, but we're all excited to see Dyson Sharp. Do you think it's imperative that we play and prioritise Sardis ahead of Sharp purely for the reason that we need to get games into him and see if he can make it?
I think 5 on the bench helps, so we can rotate him through. And I think Sharp, as you mentioned today, he played at half forward.
Yep.
I think Sharp's a better half forward than people give him credit for.
Yep.
He developed that in his game last year as a junior.
He did.
And if you watch his highlights, he was pushing down in the forward line, taking mark, kicking goals. If we can get that present exactly. And he's not that slow off the mark either, to be fair.
Nah.
People reckon he's slow. No way. He's not. His outside game's never going to be his strength. And he may not be defensively minded as some others, but his strengths outweigh his weaknesses 100 times over. And he's going to, and if we can get him playing at half forward, rotate Sardis through the midfield.
So you think there's a world where both can play?
There's 5 on the bench, yes. Yeah.
So who else makes out your midfield?
There'll be Durham, Caldwell, McGrath. I think Roberts will rotate through there, half-back, wing, and midfield. And then I reckon we'll see Kako play there as well.
Yep.
And I'm hoping, I think they might try and eventually rotate Clark through there at stages, at least around the ground.
Yeah.
And I would
what do you think, chat? Sorry to cut you off, Craig, but I'm really interested to see what the general consensus is. Do you think we need to prioritise games into Sardis before thinking of giving Sharp a go? It's not that Sardis has been so off the pace in comparison to Sharp. It's just that, I'm not the right person to talk of this, but Sharp is wonderful. But is he just a shiny new toy and he's going to get there eventually? We all know that. So start him in the VFL and let's see what Sardis has got? Or do you think that Sardis has literally got to be bulldozing the Dool down to get a spot in this team? While chat permeates on that, talk to me about your other guy, Unwin.
I love Unwin. I watched him last year play some VFL, and he was playing in the midfield, playing around the ground in the contest. I think he just reads the play so well, and he's so smart. He uses his body, he uses his to push off his opponent and run to the ball, picks the ball, head over the ball. He's just so tough. And then if he gets it around goals, like the way he just his sidestep, he's got this.
Yeah,
you saw him. Like, come on,
beautiful. It's beautiful,
beautiful. Yeah. Like I think when we got him, we were planning to take him before. I think it was before Roberts or whatever it was, but we changed our pick with St Kilda, and then we picked him later on. So that's how highly we rated him.
Yeah.
Before we picked him up, so I think he's one to watch. And I was going to say too, I asked the chat if Roby was available and ready to go, would we want him in the team straight away, or would we expect him to develop in the VFL? I feel like a lot of fans probably have this hype on Roby. Yep, get him in. But would they expect him to play VFL? Like they might say, oh, no, Sharp's got to play VFL. He's got to earn his stripes. We've got to give Sardis. Would you say the same about Roby, or say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't believe in just because you're gifted on, in draft night or you have raps about you earn a spot. Yeah. If you've earned it, the only reason aside from adoring Dyson Sharp, is the only reason I have him in my round one team is because I've watched him for 20 plus sessions across preseason, and he's actually earned the right. I'm not just gifting him. So I personally would say the same for Roby. If I saw at training that he had reached that level and earned the place, I would say that's the half forward spot is his. I don't know whose spot he's taking or how the reshuffling works, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think we're talking about Sharp or Roby.
Roby.
Oh, I don't think he's taking anyone's spot at the moment. I think he's going to earn his stripes. Like for me, it's unless there's a spot for you, like with Huss, you don't you earn your stripes or you wait for an injury. Now he could take maybe if Gresham plays ahead, maybe a Gresham but then again, I don't know, like he might take Perkins.
You know what's weirded me? And I've said this today, even when it looked like without Kako, we were without enough small forward presence or, kind of ground level agility. Yeah. I wondered why they didn't put Unwin down there.
Unwin, that's what I was going to say. Then why didn't they?
For a hot minute. There has to be reasons. There just has to be, and I'm not seeing it, but they didn't. They didn't put Guelphy down there. They didn't swap him to the other team. Am I missing something? What is the reasoning why they wouldn't have done that?
Do they have a set way they want to sort of play or train on a certain day?
No.
You said, last week they were just moving the ball forward through the middle. Yeah. And then other sessions they've gone backwards, sideways.
Yep.
Is it more scenario training as opposed to just having it like they might have a plan behind closed doors that they might train within the hangar and say, this is how we want to get the ball out of clearance, this is how we want to set up forward. But when it comes to outside, when everyone's watching, it's more, okay, we're going to train this scenario, we're going to train that scenario. And then
So you reckon we'll get some spy shit happening? Maybe thinking that a few Richmond spies out there today, or I do know that Brett Delidio was in fact out there at the hangar today watching, but he works in player management and he has a few players on his ticket, so that's the reason he was there.
Pepper was out there last week.
He was too, but he was here for another purpose. I don't think I'm allowed to. I don't think I'm allowed to reveal that, so I'll keep that just in case, because there might be no Bomber banter next week if I do reveal that. So better not go there. But yeah, I don't know. You're right. Hey, there could be. All of this could be for nothing. Round one could be a completely different team, and we're just putting on show to mess with the opposition. We don't know. I don't know. Well, we wait and see, right? Are you ready? Are you got your membership and ready to go for round one? Well done.
Yes, I'm ready to go.
I hope you get a call from your mate Reece Unwin on Monday. Maybe
I got
keep your phone on.
I got a call from Al Hawley last year.
Did you?
Yeah, it was a surprise.
Well done.
I wasn't expecting it, and I was so nervous. I'm like, yep. All right, I said, you reckon you'll get a game soon?
Actual people.
Oh, I know. Like he was nice. He wasn't a long call, but he was nice and well spoken.
That's fantastic.
So, I've got a question. We're talking about I was talking about scenarios before. Do you think when we do slip into that kicking backwards, sideways, going slow, I know some people bemoan that, but do you reckon that's sort of in-game scenario practice if we need to play that way because we're getting scored against too heavily, we have to slow the game down? Or do you reckon bad habits still?
Look, I will say there has not been a lot of that at training at all. In fact, I don't think I remember seeing a ball go backwards. I honestly, I say that hand on heart. I'm not, you know me well enough now. Everybody watching, you're here because you want to be, I assume. You know me, I am transparent as all hell with you guys, and I always will be. And you will always sense when I'm not being transparent because something will be up. So my point is, I have not seen them kick backwards. There has been a few moments where they've gone sideways to switch play or find a better player, to find player in space. But I think you're right. I think there are scenarios that count. You need a bit of yin and yang. You need a bit of you need tactics to slow the game down to let your players get into position up the ground. It's not just to, catch your breath. Sometimes they will have ran far and need to catch their breath and slow the game down, or maybe there's been a biff, or I think there are different scenarios will call for different plays.
And if we go too quickly, we can get turnovers too quickly, and then we don't give our defense time to set up, and then
as you've said, I think a combination of both is always going to be needed, but I think the idea to move the ball quick works only if you have the skills to pull it off. Yeah. Because otherwise you're just turning it over quicker.
And there needs to be a connection with the forward line. Speaking of connection with the forward line, how's our forward line going? How's it moving? Is it just standing there demanding the ball on top of their heads, kick it to me, or are they actually moving, creating space?
Well, because this is the thing, because by virtue of moving the ball quicker, there is space in the forward line. Yeah, so, when we've been watching Essendon games and it looks so cramped, well, because teams are setting up or teams have the work rate to work back and push back and be extras in our forward line. But that's not happening much at training because we're moving the ball quickly and we're giving the likes of Langford and Peter Wright a chance, a 2-on-2 rather than a 3-on-2 or a 5-on-2 at times.
So the forwards are leading up at the ball? Because that was one of my pet peeves, that they used to just stand still. I remember there was I posted on Twitter back in the day, it was Alwyn Davey was on a wing and he got the ball. He turned around to move. Yeah, I know. But it's stuck in my brain because it's been going on for too long. And he turned around to move the ball and no one led to him. And he's like, come on. And he forced to kick it to 40 meters to a contest, outnumbered. And the ball, it was like, I always say, move. The always need to move. So they're moving or...
they are moving. I will say, though, I am much more confident seeing Kako and Huss down there. I'm much more confident that something's gonna happen at ground level if it doesn't happen. So if it does come to the ground, something more often than not happens when Kako and Huss are buzzing around there. So Peter Wright has been working really hard on that, I think, and moving into space. Caddy has played very deep, very close to goal the last couple of weeks. But he's so good aerially, so they just rely on that. But otherwise, work in progress. We still can be better in that department, obviously. But anyway, Craig, I better move on. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you get a call on Monday from your fave, and I'll see you throughout the year. Look forward to it.
All right,
good night. See ya. Let's go across the world, everyone, and say hello to Webby.
Oh,
hello. How are you?
My audio's like gone.
You got me?
Hang on.
He's been sitting there patiently. Oh, now we've lost him. This is my bad. He's back. Got me?
Shit. Fuck no.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Here we are. I can hear you now.
Beautiful. How are you, Pummy? How's life over there in England?
How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Oh my God! The last few months have just been, they've been extraordinary in a way, haven't they?
On your side of the ditch or my side of the ditch?
Well, on your side of the ditch, really.
Oh, okay. Yes, I mean we've had a good off season. That's for sure.
Absolutely amazing. And what impresses me is that the board have performed a miracle to get this club stable again. They really have.
It's a good point. They've been to work. The president has laid down the law, and you just get the feeling that less and less crap is going to be tolerated.
And the draft picks as well. Sullivan Roby, Jacob Farrow. My God, they're going to be.
And don't forget my personal fave, please. Don't forget my fave, Dyson Sharp, please.
Dyson Sharp. Oh yes, the interview as well. Well, you were lucky to get him on camera.
I was very lucky, very fortunate. Hey, Dave wants to know, Webby, you must have the heater cranking. Is it very cold over there?
Oh no, it's the air purifier. Oh, it's because in my room it always seems to get damp, so I've got this on just to suck it all up.
Yeah, fair enough. Is it very cold? How cold is it over there?
It's 4 degrees, but I feel hot in here, so I've got my shirt on.
Okay, fair enough. So, what are you most looking forward to when the season starts, Webby?
Well, I'm looking forward to next month. 30 days to go. Can't wait.
Yep.
Hawthorn, smash them.
What time and day is it going to be where you are? Have you worked that out yet?
Well, it's going to be at the same time as now. So this time next month, I'll be watching the telly, tuning on the Bombers, and watch it. Should be a extraordinary game of footy.
Spot on, so nailed it.
Absolutely pumped up for that.
I might use that in my promo, Webby. I might use that in my promo.
Really?
Yeah, we love you.
Well, I love you too, Fiona. You're the best. Thank you for having me on.
You. And the chat loves you.
Yes, I love you, chat as well. Keep up the good work, all of you.
So, where do you see us finishing this year? Have you let yourself think about what you expect from us this year?
Well, the thing is, you've got 2 more finals berths, so you've got 9th and 10th, but I don't really see us finishing in anywhere around the top 6. So the highest I could see us finishing is actually 10th place.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll win a final, so your Florence trip is still out the window.
Oh, all right, but that just means more time to save.
I'll tell you what, that does not mean I'm not excited about this season. Now, I know I'm a bit of a pessimist at times. I know I've said before that Brad Scott needs to get the sacked, and I still think should have kept Ben Rutten 4 years ago. But the thing is, right, everyone needs to get behind a team, because if you remain divided, then that means you're going to be split up for another year. We're not going to go anywhere. And the thing is, we're just going to become more divided as a fan base. But I mean, look, Brad's done a fantastic job. So have the board as well to bring these players. And for the first time in a long time, we've got what I've been asking for, which is stability.
Spot on. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And you're right about the unity, because think of how strong a force is when everybody's on the same page and pulling in, and it's not about blind positivity, but it's more about believing in something. Because let me tell you something, right? Being fortunate enough to have a little foot inside the inner circle and inner workings, they believe so much in this pathway. All of them, from the top to the bottom. Like, every single player is so not just committed, because that's when someone's a footballer in AFL, I expect commitment, but they believe in this path, and they believe in the destination, and they believe they are going to get there. So if that is already a powerful force, as Webby says, we are the other powerful force, the 85,000 plus supporters. We are that extra player on the field when things get shit for the players, when things are close in a game. So it is a powerful force. And if there's division, and again, it's not about everybody agreeing with everybody. It's not about blind positivity. It's just about being a united force.
I'll tell you what, the game against Hawthorn will probably be in your top 10 games you've ever seen as an Essendon fan, genuinely.
Hopefully.
If they get the win, it's going to be in the top 10.
Who else agrees? I agree. Look, a lot of people might call us crazy, but I'm saying if a miracle happens, maybe it's not a miracle, but if it happens and we win, I agree with Webby. I reckon it'd be in the top 10 wins, surely, given where we've come, unless it's a shit game.
I can see him getting up for it. It's going to be their cup final, isn't it? I mean, I can't wait to see Fat Farrow getting on the action. So Sullivan, Roby, and Archie Roberts. What a hellfire player he is.
He is fire.
Every year he is just improved and improved and improved. His hellfire is absolutely amazing. I've seen these clips you've took in training. Obviously, I haven't watched as much as everyone else who's come on here. Not as much as people in chat. I haven't been over to Windy Hill. I've got a portal in my backyard. But then look at the footage. They do look like they're playing well.
Yeah, and look at the impact you're having, Webby. Annalise says about ready to run through a brick wall for you. Me too. You're getting us all up and about, Webby. But no, I agree absolutely. I think look, it is only pre-season, but we can only judge on what is in front of us, right? So I think the club know there's a lot to work on and there's a lot to do. And yeah, Sunstripe, I do agree with you on some level. The healing continues, but that as an evolving space, and the faster or the more profound the healing will be is how united the heart of the club is, and that's the fans. And that is why I have created this channel. So to be a uniting force and to help unite and give
you just feel it all coming together.
You do.
I can remember just sitting here in September saying, oh, next season's going to be disastrous. I was calling Zach Merrett a wanker and all that.
Many of us were, don't worry.
Unbelievable.
Many of us were. Don't worry.
If Zach happens to be watching this before his State of Origin thingy tomorrow, and then sorry, mate, for seeing you're a wanker and all that.
God, you crack me up, Webby. Hey, are you going to watch the State of Origin game? Are you keen to see that? Are you keen to watch it?
No, I've got Lincoln tomorrow. We've got Bolton. Crack, grudge match that is.
Oh, right. Okay.
But so I've got my very own excitement I'm seeing in the flesh.
Oh, look, Peter, we've got somebody else here from London. Oh, my God, you lot. I mean, I love all of you equally, but I love my abroad viewers. Peter, there you go.
Mate, I'm over in central western Norfolk, mate. So I live nowhere near London. You Australians and you Americans all seem to think we all live in London.
Guilty. I know nothing of geography. I'm the worst. So London, America, and everything else is just one big place, and you all live in the same place when you're in the country. But Peter says, yep. Peter says, gotcha. But you know, I love you abroad.
I'll be making the long trip up to Lincoln tomorrow, so not seeing State of Origin. I don't really care that much about it. But
right, okay, fair enough.
You like, if that's your thing, then have fun watching it.
Yep. Okay.
Anyway, speaking of Merrett, do you think he's redeemed himself? Do you think it's safe to say he's done that? I know he's not captain anymore.
He's not, and for me, no. But that's just me. It's not about grudges, anything like that. Just for me, no. What about you?
Well, I wouldn't say he's redeemed himself properly yet, but I tell you what, he is getting very, very, very close to becoming one with the club again. Because if he didn't want to be here, he'd be boycotting training. He'd say, please, I want to go to Hawthorn. I'm going to go to Hawthorn. I don't want to be here anymore. But no, he's cracked on and he's made a work for it. He's done himself proud, to be fair.
That's one thing. He's built that way, to be self-motivated and to get the best out of himself. So no injuries, please, Zach, tomorrow night. Come back to us healthy and play next week in the...
start him on the bench.
Start him on the bench, you reckon?
For selfish purposes.
Fair enough, Webby. Does this mean anything to you? I'm passing on the message through the chat.
Yes.
It does? Okay.
I live in a small village between Norwich and King's Lynn.
Lovely. It sounds lovely. When you say the word village, in my head, I don't know. I think magical places and magical lands. Again, I am not the best. Is that what it's like?
Well, pretty much, yes.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad you have that. All right, Webby. Yeah, Gwenda, I got no idea about the accent.
Lots of airfields around us as well, which is why I support the Bombers.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So if you want, I know you've been asking why I support the Bombers. That's because on the eastern flank of England, you've got a lot of airfields, and not far from us is about 60 miles up the road is a air base called Waddington, and that's where the 617 Squadron are based, and their nickname was the Dam Busters. And the Ultras at Lincoln, which is the team I support, they have a set of fans called the 617 Squadron who sits in the top right of Sincil Bank.
Yep.
Making a lot of noise to the drum. So, looking at AFL,
love that.
I saw who I should support, and then I saw the Bombers because they've got the plane on. I like the planes. A lot of airfields around me, and the colours are amazing. I like red and black. It's a good combination, to be fair.
Great combination.
It's perfect, isn't it?
That's perfect. I love how you came to be, and I love even more that you're part of the Bomber Banter community. So I'm going to love and leave you, Webby. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful seeing and chatting.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
If you don't see me next month, hopefully the Bombers get the win.
Hey, if we win, if we beat Hawthorn, and you're not here, I'm going to be very wildly upset. Actually, if you're all not here on the fan cams, if we win, actually, I might not be here. No, I'll be here. Don't worry. But anyway, let's see how we go next month, Webby. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, Webby. Love him. Yeah, I don't want to. I can't go there to think if we win. I might not be here, guys. Fuck. All right. Joe, we got you on a midnight walk. That's the best version of Joe.
You got me again. You couldn't wait for me to turn a corner where there is a light where I can actually see myself. That's all right. How are we doing tonight, guys?
I mean, we're doing well. I see that you made a delayed entry to the fan camps tonight.
Yes, I was at dinner.
Yep.
We had a reservation,
fair
and
enough. This was spontaneous.
But I made my best effort to try and get back on time, and I can't believe the doubt. Can't believe the doubt. We are beating Hawthorn in round 1. Don't you worry about it. It's happening.
Oh no, Joe! Some troll is gonna screen record that, and we're gonna be all over the internet. And
that's fine. That's perfectly fine. If I'm going to be the face of the Essendon Nuffy community online, that's perfectly acceptable. But that same person needs to make sure that this clip is also circulating when and if and when we beat them. So it's willing to go both ways, I reckon.
This is true, and nobody knows, and it's even more unknown with us because nobody knows where we're going to sit at the end of the year.
That's exactly right. And I think a lot of people are they're seeing how we did last year in what was obviously an unprecedented type of season. And like they forget how good Darcy Parish is. You know what I mean? Like they forget how good of a connection he'd have with Merrett in the midfield. They forget that Kyle Langford can kick 50 goals in a season.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they forget that Jordan Ridley is an all-Australian type defender. So there's a bunch of really incredibly talented players on our list that will get us there. Plus, the youth is really exciting. And I get it that youth don't have experience, but they're building the experience together. And you know, from a psychological perspective, that youth are like sponges, and all of them will be very earnest. So all of them will be very open to each other, and they will be like best friends growing up together in the club. And that's how the Baby Bombers burst onto the scene. So I'm actually really excited. I reckon if we don't have a wild card finish this year, it'll be a little bit. I think we should be aiming for wild card.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to us. The hope. You're getting the hope.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it.
Do you really?
You've done an amazing job covering the preseason, Fiona. You've absolutely nailed it.
Thank you, legend.
Your interviews with 2 Meter Peter, with Sharpie were amazing. I'm actually going to place the light now. They were so good. They were so good.
Thank you.
All of the content creators have absolutely smashed this preseason, and no one is sort of drinking the Kool-Aid. Everyone is very much like being critical, but not overly critical. Like they're just pointing out, obviously in the past that we have been very quick to blow up, smoke up our own asses, and it tends to blow up in our face.
True.
But this time around, there's no doubt that standards are higher. That's objective.
Yep.
There's no doubt that the players have bought in. The players that we've got more talent on the list than we've had in a very long period of time. Everyone keeps talking about how we've nailed the draft these last 2 years. And look who we're talking about in the preseason who are flying. Merrett. Obviously, he's our best player and has been our captain. It makes sense that we're talking about him being good. Darcy Parish, an all-Australian type midfielder. It makes sense. When he's fit and healthy, he's flying. But you also, on the flip side, have got incredible youth in Kako and Caddy and Roberts who are all flying as well. And when you've got the mixture of the old and the young both popping off in the preseason, that's how you're going to have the rising tide raises all ships. Is that how the saying goes? So I think as long as the people are healthy, the players are on the park, we have genuine healthy competition for spots. Like I'm rapt that Sardis isn't a guaranteed to play. I'm rapt that he's fighting for a spot with Farrow, with Sharp, with Parish fit back at, that also gives it a squeeze. Like I'm really happy that people who are going to play for the Essendon Football Club this year are playing because they deserve it. Not because last year we had to field freaking Joe Blogs from the street. Like, I almost got a call up last year. That's how bad it was. Like, I almost got just off the street. Like, you're right here, Joe, on the street. So I really hope that obviously that doesn't happen again and we get continuity. Continuity is key.
A guy that I haven't mentioned, I can't believe I haven't mentioned him for so long, but that we're all forgetting, who I have tipped to make the AA team this year in Zach Reid. Do you have any idea how good this guy is? No, you. I don't know how I can get across to you the feeling in my heart, everybody watching, about this guy and the feeling in my spirit and my soul. How am I going to do this justice? He's like, think of the Bulldogs game and outside of the thought of them thrashing us, but think of Sam Darcy up against Zach Reid. That's box office stuff. This guy is elite. He's elite, and he will straighten us up so much, so much. Ben Mackay walks taller with him there. He is working within his shoebox, within his parameters. He is playing with authority in himself. He takes the easy option, disposes of it beautifully, takes space, takes the forward space, because the Zach Reid is there keeping him straight. Like, this guy, Joe.
I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say that Zach Reid is probably the most important player on our list for
our most precious commodity. I've said it forever.
Yeah, for structure and for future, and because that's the way the game's going. The game is going towards these cheat codes in the Darcys, the Caddies, the Logan Morrises in Brisbane.
Yes.
Like the game is moving towards that type of forward. The old type of stocky key forward, like Tex Walker, is probably the last of his breed.
Yes.
And when he retires, so we need Zach Reid. And it's not just that he's a good stopper, but as you mentioned, his ball use is sublime and it can go left foot, right foot. So not only is he a guy that fills a structural need, he himself is also an offensive weapon.
And he always wants to keep the ball moving.
100%. 100%.
Instinct
Correct.
is to move quick as soon as you get ball in hand. It's not to stop and prop, move.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's something that I'm not sure if it's because of bad habits or game style that hasn't really been that go-go sort of attitude. And I know how many games that we've been to on the park and we just see us stop and the crowd just goes, no, like you just hear the groan across the stadium. Like, I know the 19th man on the field can obviously be an uplifter, but at the same time, it can also be a bit of a distraction at times as well. So that's something that we're going to have to, I think, rein in a bit every now and then. But ultimately, we shouldn't be, our optimism towards these players is because we know that they can achieve more. And it's because we actually believe in the direction of the list. It's not necessarily in terms of give us the results right now. It's we know you can do better. We have high hopes for you. We need you to believe in yourself as well. And I'm looking at Sardis, for example, who I think was just missing that belief. I highly doubt it that his kicking ability was that shit when we drafted him at pick 5. I'm sorry. I think clearly it got to his head. And obviously the spotlight was on him, and it's an entirely different game playing AFL than playing in juniors. So, hopefully this time around, Sardis is willing to take that next step. Not because I have any personal skin in the game with Sardis, but if every single one of our players is having a career best time of it, that's all you need. All you need is enough players playing in the best form of their lives, and lo and behold, you could win a premiership that year. I'm not saying we're going to win the flag, but I'm just saying that in terms of winning a flag, sometimes all you need, even though you might not have the best team, but if all your players just play their best at the same time, you get there. Like, I don't think the Richmond team that won in their first year necessarily was the best team. I don't think the Collingwood team that won against Brisbane were better than Brisbane. Like, sometimes all you just need are all of your players to fire at the same time. So there's no reason why. As the environment is positive, the fitness regime is great, the strength and conditioning is great, and I really hope Brad Scott's messaging is also not, it's a tough game, every game is tough. Like, we get it, bro. We get it. It's AFL, but like, have a message to motivate the boys as opposed to, oh, it's on a knife's edge. It's just tell them to run through a brick wall. Just give them the keys to the kingdom to do what they want to do. Tell them, go break a leg. Tell them, yeah, this is a great competition. Show them what you got. Not, oh yeah, it's very tough and we're going to have to be serious and study it. Like, you know, if there's different ways you can spin a message, and I hope Brad can spin the message in a more positive way and a more motivational way, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but that's.
I do. I think, you know, there can be a temptation to overanalyze and control everything. At the end of the day, you draft players on talent, and we have some extraordinarily talented kids. And if, you know, like I spoke to Peter Wright about, if you try and rein your caddy in, you lose what makes him wonderful, and that's his unpredictable flair. And, you know, I think temptation will sometimes be there to rein Archie Roberts in because he has fire, you know, in his eyes. But I think you just gotta let him play to instinct. Most of them want to move the ball when they get it by instinct, but they get in their heads. They think, I've got to nail a kick. I'm not going to nail a kick. Somebody's coming. I know. What do I do? I genuinely think their first instinct is to get the ball moving. So let's hope. I'm pretty sure that all the messaging is on the same page. We wait and see, I guess.
Fingers crossed. Calm the dawns. I'll let the next person jump on. Thanks very, very much, Fiona.
We love you. The chat loves you. Thank you. So great to see your face. I'll see you soon.
Up the Bombers.
Bye. Corey.
Wow. To quote BT, boy, oh boy, where we. I can't top the last 6 or 7 callers you've had on your fan cams. No offense. Holy shit, they've been good.
Oh, that is wonderful. That's what we breed here on Bomber Banter, please. And I'm sure you're just going to lift that standard yet again. How's your summer been?
Pretty good. Just playing cricket myself locally, just for a club down here. Haven't started footy yet because I've been playing in the ones for my local club, and I've just been trying to focus on cricket for the time being. And then the cricket season finishes in about 5-6 weeks. Then I'll hook back into local footy and try and see if I can go around for another 12 or 13 games to reach me 200.
5 more weeks of cricket. I thought cricket was done.
No, it doesn't finish till mid-March, unfortunately, if you make finals.
Oh, okay. So that means you must be good then, as in with a good team.
We're sitting second at the moment, so we're playing third on the ladder tomorrow. If we win, we stay clear second, and we won't finish any worse than that, I don't think.
I mean, I'm pretending like I know exactly what you're talking about, but I hear first and second, and that must be good. So anyway, let's leave cricket behind and talk footy. Where do you sit on the totem pole? We've had a bit of pessimism, a bit of hesitancy, a bit of optimism. Where are you sitting, please, Corey?
I am optimistic, but I'm also trying to keep a level head because we haven't actually seen a proper preseason game or a practice match where we can see what they've tried to do all summer in practice. And I know preseason, everyone can fly on the track and be absolute superstars, but it's your own individual pressure from your team. But when you're playing against an actual AFL opposition in Richmond next week, and the other preseason match, I don't know who we play, I'm sorry. St Kilda, that to see where we're really at and to see where you can possibly have your best 23 come round one, because we obviously don't know. Obviously, we can wish and dream and wish all our draftees would be starting round one if they're all fit and healthy, and we'd be absolutely flying, and Bomber Banter would be going through the roof at the moment. But you'd have 3-hour fan cams, and you'd be making plenty of it. So, yeah.
Let's hope that happens either way, hey? I mean, yeah, you're right. And I absolutely think I agree with you in terms of that's something I've struggled with, admittingly, in terms of watching some of these great moments and highlights at training, but also balancing how I deliver the highlights, not to pump people up so I feel like I'm getting people's hopes up. But regardless of kind of where you think we're going to sit, I don't know if you think we'll play finals or finish 10th or whatever, but would you agree that, like, do you think that we are on the right path in terms of eventually making a crack for it, or do you feel like this is just talk and you're not ready to actually make a call on that?
I still think we're 1 or 2 years away. We're just missing a few key pieces, I believe. The forward depth, like forward pocket depth, I don't think's good enough yet. I know earlier in the chat, probably 45 minutes to an hour ago, someone said Jaden Ewan as a forward. Whoever said that is an absolute genius.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that 110%. Like, he could even do both. He could play back pocket. He could go forward pocket. He could be a small defending swingman for each end. I really, whoever said that, kudos to you, because that's a very great shout out.
I agree. I think he's talking to Andrew at the time when the comment came up. I think I agree. I think he's got all the makings to play a defensive small forward role. Haven't seen it at training. So maybe the coaches have him locked for a small back, or maybe he's still got something to work on. Not sure, but would love to see it.
100%. Just from your analysis of what you've seen from pre-season, do you think, and I'm not, chat can agree with me or not, would Xavier Dersma be good as a pinch hitting half forward if he's not playing wing?
Yeah, so he's been lining up there predominantly at the start of pretty much every match sim, and he's got all the skills to play that role. He's diligent enough to come up and push up to the contest. He's got the work rate when the ball is transitioning back our way, to bolt back to be an option or to pull out a defender from the space of a forward, and then he's got the athleticism to do it consistently on a consistent basis. So he's been fantastic. He kicks goals. He's agile, so he can run around a defender or two. I really think could be good for us down there and on the wing. But in a way, you almost want him on the wing too, because he offers a lot there too. Where do you prefer him?
I would like to see him more try at half forward, only because he's probably keeping out a guy like a Harry Jones, who's only going to really get in this team this year is if Nate Caddy gets injured, because he's not going to play. Jones is not going to play second ruck. So my only theory is when they tried Jones on a wing, to me it's not worth it. And the same with Nick Cox. It's not worth putting 200 centimetre guys in a position where you need someone who's quite agile, who's 185 centimetres, who can go up and back. Yeah, they're going to be fit, but I'd rather see him play a key pole like Harry Jones or Cox in that position. So I think it puts Jones's role like just stuck in the VFL, unfortunately, which isn't a bad thing, because the last year we had no one in the VFL, and our VFL team might actually look good this year with a reasonably healthy list.
Yeah, he's actually a forgotten one. And now that I've seen so much shuffling on the wing this off-season, the rotisserie trick in that it's actually made me think that there was reasoning and meaning behind playing Jones on the wing. And I'm not saying that that's where he belongs and I don't want him to play there personally, but giving him some education in that role, I don't know, it feels like it had a reason. There was a reason to it. But he's an interesting one, because you're right. Whose spot is he taking if the list is fully healthy? It's a very, very interesting question. Chat, do you have an opinion on that?
As I said to you, sorry, Fiona, the only way he gets in is if Nate Caddy's injured. Because
I think you're right.
Because we drafted him as a full forward. When he was in his TAC Cup years, he was drafted as a centre half forward, and he's got the similar build in a sense. He's tall, he's lanky, and can take a decent overhead mark, and he's not the greatest kick for goal, but he's not the worst either. That's the only way I think he gets in the team at all this year. So unfortunately, he's probably in the boat of what Sardis, Perkins, Gresham stuck in the VFL, I think, to start, unless they absolutely take the mickey in the preseason. So it'll be interesting to see.
It's a good call. Yeah, it's a really good call. He may be in a bit of limbo. I mean, the nature with Nate Caddy plays his football tells me that he's probably going to need a rest at times. He played a lot of last year sore. So there could be an option, to potentially play a Jones in a couple of games, to give Nate Caddy a bit of a rest. Oh, have you gone on mute? We've lost him.
Sorry, you there?
Oh, there you are. Gotcha.
Sorry, it must have been on mute. My hand must have been on it. Sorry. I'd spoken to Nate Caddy in the off season just before the new year, and he had osteitis pubis, and that's why he missed the back end of the year, and wasn't 100% even at the start of preseason, but was still pushing himself to keep fit, which I was a bit worried because I'm like, if he re-injures it again, and then it's going to defer his development going into year 3. But so far he seems to be flying, and seeing some of the vision and content that you had today on social media, seeing him trying to chase little pup was pretty impressive to watch for a kid who's 6'4" and 90+ kegs running with him.
My math was dropped. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. For those of you not on Instagram or Facebook, I at the end of the 2 hour and 20-minute match sim to the minute, Matt Innes had them running laps. Now, a few of the guys just did 100 meters, 100-meter kind of sprints up and back from goalpost to goalpost, but most of them did kind of running loads. And obviously Angus Clark is the benchmark, and Jackson Binns, of course. But Angus Clark didn't even look like he was puffing. But Nate Caddy did not give him, I reckon, 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters of space max the whole way. I was so incredibly impressed with his aerobic capacity and him pushing himself. He had this intent in his eyes where I am not losing touch on Angus Clark here, and he kept with him the whole way. So that was really great.
It's a great mentality to have, especially for a young key player or anyone of a young junior trying to make themselves known in a TAC Cup system or even just local football, to use that as an example, and for the other players in AFL from our team point of view to follow suit. That he has the mentality that he just doesn't want to lose anything that he ever does. He doesn't want to lose a marking contest. He wants to kick 5 every week and be the superstar, which is great. We need personalities like that in our team, and I give Matt Rosa credit for so far what he's done with building the character and the personnel in the last 2 years of drafting the people that we actually need and want, because I'm sorry, Jadoro didn't do it for a decade, and look where it put us. So,
yep, spot on. And the last thing before I let you go, the thing that I love about Nate Caddy and Isaac Kako, they're made of the same cloth in this regard. Both of them, I think it's safe to say that both their spots are locks. We have no others like them in our team. Both their spots are locks, but neither ever show any kind of behavior to suggest that they know that, because they, especially in Kako's regard, we don't have small forwards. His spot is a lock no matter what. He's getting a game because we don't have depth there, but he plays like his spot is on the line, and so does Nate Caddy, and that is the attitude I love from them, and that's how you know that these guys are locked in and they are the future. Same with Archie Roberts. His spot is a lock, doesn't just where he plays, but he doesn't play like his spot is a lock. And the more and more guys, Dyson Sharp already plays like that. His spot's not a lock, of course, but he already plays like his spot is on the edge of a cliff and he will not let it go over. So the more and more guys we're accumulating like this, and we're drafting, as you mentioned, Matt Rosa, the players like this, that's how you build a strong team. So amazing. Love your thoughts, Corey. You certainly kept that standard high. So thank you so much. Thanks for jumping on. Good luck tomorrow with your cricket match.
Thank you. I will be at the preseason game next weekend. I'm doing a 250k round trip to the game. I've penciled in a sick day to come down and watch it, because I've never watched a game of preseason footy at Essendon, so I'm making the 250k round trip to come and see it. So I will pop in and say,
well, don't you dare leave the hangar without finding me and saying hello, okay? Amazing.
Sure,
and let's hope your boss isn't watching. But anyway, good luck tomorrow.
She'll be right.
I hope you win your cricket game. Good night.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, you guys setting the bar so high. What are we going to do when the fan cams come around? All right, lucky last. Let's say hey, Dave.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Can hear you. It looks like you're having a nice summer up there. We were having a nice summer in Melbourne up until today. It was a bit icky. Had to put on the long sleeves, but how's life in Brisbane?
It rained all day today. I was down the Gold Coast today, and it just all day on the Gold Coast and all day in Brisbane. It's just rained, but it's like about 420 degrees still, so it's sweaty and yuck. And I turned the aircon on when I came
My
home.
hair will be.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the aircon to properly kick in. So it's still a bit. It's awful. You can feel the mold growing on you. As soon as you step outside, it's just. Ugh.
Well, anyway, talk to me about Essendon, Dave. How are you feeling about the season? Are you looking forward to footy? What's your take?
I'm looking forward to it. That's for sure. I want. I don't know about you, but I just want that. And you've been talking about it throughout the preseason, just about that cohesion. That's all I want. I want to see these guys gel together more. And as you were just saying to Corey and that just then, the enthusiasm of these kids, I can't wait for that to kind of really bleed out to the other players as well, and really they can start to show all of the whole team and that about how they kind of are playing for the jumper and playing for the team rather than just, it's probably been said some of the guys have been playing for themselves for a while. And for people like Sardis, who has had that kind of around him the whole time, he's had a very negative kind of club to be able to deal with and teammates to be able to deal with and stuff. So hopefully that enthusiasm kind of comes through to a person like him, because maybe that's what he's been missing. I know he's been, from what people say around the club, he can have a bit of a mouth on him and stuff, but hopefully the enthusiasm for actually just going out there and having a kick is what he needs, rather than taking things so seriously sometimes and stuff. So what else? Oh, what I was going to ask you is, have you seen, the rule changes that are coming in? Have you seen a lot of them kind of playing to those rules and kind of working things out? I suppose that's something that they could be doing in the classroom, but the out of bounds, I'm really keen to see what they do.
Dave, I reckon I've seen one, maybe two paid in match sim so far. Like literally, I have not seen many paid at all, unless I'm too busy watching the content, like getting the content. That's highly probable. So maybe don't quote me too much on that one. But pardon me, definitely the stand rule today. Max Kondagianis, oh God, he barely shimmied, bang, 50, and then someone didn't give the ball back quite like quick again. They've been given 50s away for not giving the ball back quite a bit since the umpires came on. So they're the two rules I've noticed a lot. They've been really, really tight on the holding the ball. So any sign of prior, even lifting your arms to feign kind of a handball, and they're calling holding the ball on. So I think they're going to be strict on that from the get-go anyway, until they get sick of being strict on that rule, as we know the AFL work. So there have been like a couple of 100-metre penalties.
What about the out of bounds? Like, are they – because that's going to play a big part when teams start to kind of play on the wings or further out on the wings and stuff, and when the game kind of gets caught out on one side, there's going to be tactics. So I hope the coaching staff have kind of got a strategy in mind when the ball is kind of out on the wing, and that how do they – to reset, how do they kind of force it out of bounds, or what's their play going to be and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting to me, is to be able to see that.
I haven't noticed, to be honest, any different tactics. I think that could be something they're working on behind closed doors. In fact, I hope it's something they're working on behind closed doors, but I to my eye, maybe that's something I've missed. Anybody at training who wants to leave a comment or let me know if I've missed that. But I can't say I've noticed that out of bounds between the arc free kick a lot. But it's definitely moving quicker. I don't know if that's purposeful. Like there's not many big tackles happening in the forward line. They're just trying to let the ball and the play flow, so it keeps the ball moving. But that could just be training. So I don't know.
Well, hopefully they've got that kind of second gear to go to, or other play to go to when, move the ball doesn't work, because as we saw last year, the turnovers were pretty horrendous, and then coming back, they were all out of position. So hopefully, and I suppose you go back to last year, even though we didn't have our kind of best team in for the majority of the year, when that was our biggest issue, and it always has been. When we don't have the ball, we're not in position to kind of be prepared for when the other team is kind of moving forward and stuff. So hopefully they've worked on that. And that's why I was asking the question the other week about, what colours were the players, was it always the A team against the B team, or was it a bit of a mix and match? Because you kind of want it to be mixed to allow the best defenders against the best forwards for a while, and then and basically play the game in two halves, in each half and stuff. So
Well, today was the first day, Dave, that they actually played every single one of the A team on the same team.
Yeah.
Every other match the defenders have been on the opposing team. So they're seeing how the defenders can move the ball out of D50 and then transition up the forward line, up the center of the ground. Sorry, I'm dwindling off into Loco land. But today they were all on the same team. So, for example, Peter Wright had Jerine on him rather than a Zach Reid or a Ben Mackay. Whereas previous, but it's good for Peter Wright and Nate Caddy to be practicing on our best defenders available. So they're getting, so they're getting practice. That's no disrespect to obviously Jerry and who else has been playing down there. Our Tyler Sellers, the VFL player, that they've been holding their own. But essentially, you want our forwards to be practicing up against the best we've got. So we wait and see. Before I let you go, Dave, where are you seeing us finish? How many wins?
I don't know about wins, but I think at the top of the bottom six, at least. Worst case, the top of the bottom six. So we should be above. We should be above Carlton. We should be above Melbourne. We should be above.
You got us above Carlton, Pommy. Do you agree, please? He's entered the chat. Pommy, do you think we're finishing above Carlton? Wow, I haven't even thought about it.
Yeah, I think Carlton's in trouble, at least for the first half of the year. They're in trouble.
Okay. Yep, keep going. So above Carlton, who else?
We should be in front of Melbourne, definitely. We should be in front of West Coast. We should be in front of Richmond, and we'll be there or thereabouts against North Melbourne. But, you've got to look at the first 6 weeks of last year, or however it was, where we were playing well before all those injuries started. That's our that's what we have to kind of look forward to, is that the fact that we can kind of be in that top part of the ladder. So I'm not predicting that we're going to be in the top 8, but I certainly think in that the top of the bottom teams. Does that make sense?
Yes, I top of the bottom 6 locked in. Moby is ribbing you for that. I was simply asking you. You can't agree or deny that charge. So you do or you don't think Essendon's going to finish above Carlton? I reckon if you asked any single living Carlton fan, they would be absolutely adamant that if Essendon finish above Carlton, the sky is not blue. No Carlton fan, I don't reckon I'd find one who thinks that we will finish above them.
I think that first. When do we play Carlton? Do we play Carlton after Anzac Day? Usually we do.
Yeah.
Usually we play them after Anzac Day. So by then, that's 5 or 6 rounds in. So by then, you'll have a pretty good idea about how both teams are going. And I think Carlton will be shit at the start. So they'll get better, but they're going to struggle at the start. So
have you dissected their fixture? Is that what you're basing it on? They've got a tough.
No.
Oh,
just
okay.
Just gut feel.
Guts. Okay, we love the vibe feeling here on Bomber Banter. This is what we go off, Dave. So we love this.
I think Zach Reid will be my Brad Scott's kind of pull the trigger and send him forward if there's ever any problems, especially at I still call it Telstra Dome at the Docklands. if there's any problems there, I think Zach Reid will be asked to go forward and just take some hangers. 30 meters out. If there's, there's always going to be those games where there's something needed, and I think he'll be the one that can get that goal that we need every now and then. So let's see. Hopefully,
I don't know. I think that's a pretty.
I'll pick the restaurant, Tommy.
That's a pretty weak. I think that's a weak offering. Does that mean you really think Essendon? You don't want to commit to giving me anything bigger because you actually think it's going to happen? Like dinner. How much can dinner be? What's the most dinner can be? Like
I'll pick the restaurant because I know some good ones down there. So
I mean, it's got to start at Nobu or higher, right? Like if I'm picking. Sorry, Pom. She's got expensive taste, please. But I can't read if you think. I don't know whether I'm reading that you actually think it's going to happen or not, or you think we're taking a piss. Anyway, maybe I'm missing something. Oh, you think it's a good deal? Twist is that Pommy doesn't get to eat, just sits there and watch you eat. I don't know how good of a time he's happening, but maybe that's the punishment. Could be. All righty. Dave, good to see you as always. Enjoy the rest of the summer. I mean, you'll be back here. I'll be back here. We'll see each other soon. See you around. Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Good night.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye. Okay. I know I said lucky last, but we've always got time for a very quick. Muzz, how are you, friend?
I'm good. How are you?
You're good? Oh, good. I'm well. What's news?
Not much. I'm just working, trying to stay off football as of right now.
You're trying to what?
I've been keeping up the content with football between you and Felix and all this.
Good.
Yeah, I've watched your both videos with Peter Wright and I forget Dyson Sharp, which was good.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, I've been keeping off football as of right now, but getting back into football.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah. I've got a few questions because I haven't been really paying attention to football.
Okay. Hit me.
I've been doing a lot of other things.
Fair enough. Sports. Oh, what other sports, please?
I've been watching the T20 World Cricket.
Yeah. What next?
That.
What else you got? What other sport you got for me?
Man United and the soccer.
Yep, getting warmer.
Not that that's going really far, but we're getting there.
Good.
And I've also been watching the NBL.
Okay.
And the NBA.
Yep. We're getting up. We're getting up. Well done. But let's talk footy. Hit me.
Football. I saw this in the chat earlier. Not that I was really around because I've been in and out of the chat. I'm going to talk about some rookies. And some rookies that haven't been mentioned. How's Hassan El-Haka, whatever his name is, doing?
Oh, Alechka. Yep. He was very good today without his mate down there in Kako. He kicked 4 goals, but I just found the dynamism comes when they're both down there together. So, but I'm thoroughly impressed with his work rate. He looks like he's fighting for a spot, which he is. And that's what you want to see from these guys who are fighting for a spot. I think he's closed the gap a little in terms of his aerobic capacity and his fitness, which is where he really needed to work on. I think, last year he left a lot of goals behind. He could have had double the amount of goals he kicked, but he's been nailing pretty much all of his opportunities in the off-season, which is a big tick as well. So obviously it's in pre-season. So you want to hope that when the pressure comes on, he's also nailing those kicks. But so far, so good. I mean, I would have him in my round 1 team with Kako, just as the duo.
So if I was to say who's your forward line against Hawthorn for round 1, who would you put in that forward line as it currently stands?
Oh, Caddy, Kako, Peter Wright, Langford. I'm going to say Archie May, and I'm going to have Huss on the bench. Was that 6? did I say 6? It's been almost 3 hours, people. So I don't know. I may rethink the Archie May call, but I don't know. I think he's an asset, and I think he'll stretch a small defence, Hawthorn defence.
Speaking of Archie May, is he looking good with his body? Everything's been good.
Yeah.
At training and everything.
Yeah.
He's put on more size than what he had previously, getting pushed around.
Yeah, and he's taking some more marks, which is good.
That's good.
He's holding on to his marks, which is really good. Still, sometimes can do the double, the double take. So eventually, you want to hope that he's just clunking on the first go, but he extends his arms and his reach is quite good. So
that's good.
Where he shines for me for his size is at ground level. So I know I see some people saying too tall, and I agree, but he's not. He's a bit more catty when the ball hits the ground. He's very good below his knees. So he's not an exact tall forward in that regard. So he is, but below the ground, below his knees, he's more of a mid-size.
So he can reach the ground too, but also take contested marks up in the air.
Yeah, and when he's on the ground, his fight for the ball is exceptional. His competitive nature comes out when I reckon he's at ground level and he's in a contested battle at ground level. So, yeah.
That's really good. And Sullivan Roby, how is he getting on with his injury?
So today, I was telling Scooter earlier that I reckon he took a few accelerated steps today. He was moving faster, definitely higher loads. His running loads were increased, moving laterally. Didn't do too much with the ball, but he's progressing well. So I think he's definitely not experiencing soreness in the back or any setbacks. So that's good.
That's good then. And just all of development, because I know we've got new development coaches in and all this other thing. So how are the boys just generally looking on the track with all this, with all the new staff and everything else?
I mean, that's a hard one to answer, to be honest, because it's Essendon. I've been in the Essendon bubble, so to my eye, they look like they're gelling and improving. But I don't think we're going to get a clear answer to that until I see them against opponent.
So against Richmond.
Yep.
All right, so I'll come back next Friday and I'll ask
Yep, exactly. You nailed it. Before I let you go, Muzz, where are you thinking we finish?
Yeah. Praying to God that we don't get more injuries. I reckon we'll do pretty well. I don't think we'll finish top 10. I reckon we might finish 13th, 14th. I don't see us pushing higher than 12th this season. A lot of we've got a young list. I think we're the second youngest list in the competition. But yeah, for what I'm hoping, we'll do good. Better than last season with hopefully injuries and win-wise. But yeah. And again, like Dave said, I reckon we'll finish above people like West Coast, North, Melbourne, Richmond, maybe Carlton, Pommy, I'm sorry, but yeah. Carlton don't look too good as of currently stands to what I've heard.
Although we don't know. I'm worried that footage has kicked them into gear, so we wait and see.
I think on the other hand, I think we may finish above Collingwood too.
Oh, big call from Mars.
I reckon Collingwood would slip.
All right, I love it. We've had some big calls on the fan cams tonight.
Some injuries. Jeremy Howe's had another setback today, so
did he? Oh, look, I'm not enjoying all these injuries. Got to admit, but I love some big calls on the fan cams in pre-season.
Our boys are looking good. That's all that matters.
Nailed it. Spot on. Well, you're having an exceptional run. All right, Muzz. Good to see you, legend. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. See you guys in round one. See ya.
Bye. Pom, which Archie, please? We have 4 million of them. Archie Perkins, Archie Roberts, Archie May. Which Archie Day Wicks? You could mean him. Yes, Gwenda, you tell him. I am absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about. McDonald's was not the restaurant of choice. If anyone of you wondering. All right, legends. I'm off. It's been 3 hours. Michael, I'm sorry. I did think it would be a quick one, but if you are here and you want to have a voice and you are lining up to have a voice, you shall have a voice on Bomber Banter. Oh, yes, true. It's your fault for not attending sooner 3 hours ago, Pom, because I waxed lyrical about him, and now I'm very fatigued. So I'm going to let you all go. Thank you so freaking much for joining and spending Friday night with me. It was wonderful. Next week we play opponents. Yay for me and yay for all of us to be able to get a bit of a semblance of where we're at. I hope I get to see lots of you down at the hangar next Friday, 10:30 a.m. kickoff, and then some VFL action afterwards too. So hopefully I see some of you there. Thank you so very much to all of you. I hope you're having a good off season, but we are getting closer to the game start and I can't freaking wait. If you haven't already, please, if you're here, if you haven't subscribed, please do that. It helps enormously. Hit the like button, and I'm not sure where I'm going to see you next. It's probably going to be very spontaneous from now until season starts or the week of, but you'll see me around. So everyone take care. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all very soon.